Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. Here we are, the big event. It's Friday night, and we're here for our second annual Le Mans 2021, the 2.5 hour race. We qualified last Friday, and I will try and give you a quick run through of the qualifying situation as I find it on Discord. They're in the Group C, Group 1 cars, the older cars for the Group 1s, and the Group 3 guys are in the Ferraris and the Fords. And we have got ourselves a beautiful race up ahead, 2.5 hours non-stop of pure adrenaline, flat-out racing here at Le Sarthe. And I can't find endurance for some reason. Where is it? Sorry guys, I'm trying to navigate. There's sign up. Oh, endurance, I found it. So the grid, after last week's qualifying, in the Group 1 cars, Skyjacker, who you're watching right now, put it on pole, with Matt Psycho in second, Binko in third, Liam Anfield in fourth, Daz in fifth, GT Racer is in sixth, and Shadow Rider wasn't able to make the qualifying, will be starting in seventh. And I've seen Shadow Rider's joined the room somewhere. He's not out on the track at the moment, so we don't get to see his car. Then, for the Group 3 cars, we have Racer Brown in pole position, Guesty in second, both in Fords, Homesick Alien, the top Ferrari driver, in third, Jokus in fourth in a Ford, I believe. Jim is fifth in a Ferrari. Turtle is sixth in a Ferrari. Pat is seventh. I'm not sure what Pat's driving, to tell you the truth. Let me have a look. See if he's in the pits. Ninth. He's in a Ferrari. And I think we've had a last minute change. Tiger was signed up to do this, but he couldn't make qualifying, but said he could make the race, and as it turns out, he can't make the race either. So Rido is a last minute stepping in to his shoes. So bless you, Rido, and thank you very much. Rido in the chat saying evening. He's saying, how are you, sir? Muddy saying Skyjacker for the win, and Pat, that's from Muddy, and Pat saying good luck thingy, it's going to be a long one. That's fine, I've got an array of drinks in front of me. I've got a warm beverage, which I'm halfway through, but my favourite child said he's going to top it up for me when I need it. Which I do. Thank you, Zach. I've got 3 cans of Red Bull in front of me. I don't hope to get through all 3 cans of Red Bull, but you never know. You need... A threesome is always better than just 2, as they say. And I have trekked myself to a little Blossom Hill crisp and fruity rosé tonight. Oh, it's quite a bouquet, I must say. Let me have a little sip of that bad boy. Oh yes. So hopefully when I've sunk 2 glasses of them, this race will just look like a blurry mess, and we'll just see what comes of it. So let's have a look at the runners and the riders out there at the moment. In the chat, Mama Sykes saying, "What-o, have a good one, guys, and thingy." Thank you very much, Mama. I'm gonna... Ooh, that Blossom Hill makes you get a little warm feeling in your gullet. So there's Matt Psycho. He is driving the Sauber Mercedes C9 1989. Wow, a year after I left school, I believe. Possibly, I think so. It's a long time ago, can't remember. And then we've got Guesty out there in a lovely looking Ford. I love the old school livery on that. Hang on. I thought the rosé was coming back. Possibly not. Man, I slammed down slammed down a lovely fry-up my wife put together for me to see me through this 2.5 hours. The works, hash browns, bacon, sausages, beans and tomatoes. Whew. And that's still sitting there, all mixing up nicely. So that's Guesty in his Ford. Binko in the Mazda 787B in 1991. That is a beautiful piece of machinery there, with Relentless plastered all over it. Skyjacker saying whoop whoop flower, hello honey. And then what we got? GT, Daz out there in an, I think that might be their original, is that the original livery for that car? I'm not sure, not from the actual thing, but you know, that they raced with. Start delayed, as Homesick says, till Rido, because Rido's had to step in. And now he's back in, hopefully with a livery, because we were having livery issues. Someone was trying to get him a livery sorted out, ASAP, ASAP. GT Racer is out there in a Nissan R92, there we go, R92 CP from 1992. I suppose that's what the 92 stands for. Skyjacker, our pole sitter, is in the Mercedes-Benz, the Sauber Mercedes C9 with the Rockstar livery. Very pink. He's looking rather peachy and pink. Who haven't we seen? We haven't seen the Shadow Rider. Ooh, hello, Shadow Rider. He's in the Nissan, and that looks fruity. Very nice looking car. We are getting some lovely car porn out there tonight. Turtle Racer in a Make-A-Wish livery for his Ford, and that's looking rather cool. Jokas, he's in the Williams Rothmans for his Ford, and that looks absolutely crack-a-lacking. We've had some beauties out there. I see Liam there making his way around. We missed him in our qualifying session. He could only do the first one, and we couldn't see him. There's Rido trying to get up to speed in his brand new Ferrari. You can't have high expectations. It was just fantastic that he is taking part, really, filling up the gaps. There's Pat in his Stand Up to Cancer livery in the Ferrari, looking absolutely wunderbar. Racer Brown also in a retro style livery in the Ford, our pole sitter for the Group 3s. Everyone else is in the pits at the moment. Homesick and Jim, 2 Ferraris. Oops car, looks like Koi Carp has made that one for him, as it's on his number plate. And Homesick Alien in a lovely black and green Ferrari. Liam at the moment, fastest man out there. Let's have a good look at his car, eh? There's a lot of decal going on there, I tell thee. In the chat then we have Mama Homesick saying, evening Thingy, I'm glad you appreciate Mrs. Thingy's cooking. Yes, the alarm only went, the fire alarm only went off 3 times tonight. So it wasn't bad. Might be her personal record. Homesick Alien, oh hey up, this Blossom Hill's doing alright, isn't it? I've only had one sip. Homesick Alien, evening all, good luck. And Akipax Racing saying, sup dudes. As if 6 hours of Bathurst wasn't enough for me. I'm having a bash at 2.5 hours at Le Sarthe. Le Mans, a track that mainly is straight lines. It may as well be an oval. So Liam Anfield are making his way around. Who is going to be the top man today? I've been sent stats, but already 2 sips into the rosé. I don't know if I'm going to keep up with the stats. So Pat sent me a lovely Word document. It looks great. Let's see if we can get through this. 6th Virtual Racers Club 2.5 hour endurance event, 3rd and 10th of September. It looks great. Le Mans, Circuit de la Sarthe, 44 laps they'll be doing. Let me turn the telly down. I feel like I'm fighting it. Here we go. It's fighting that Mazda. I tell you, Binko was telling us on Wednesday night that Mazda is absolutely noisy, and gosh, it's like a teenager at a Rage Against the Machine concert. My word. So 44 laps of Le Sarthe, 8.467 miles, or if you're not from England, 13.626 kilometers. The total distance will be 372.548 miles, or 599.544 kilometers. With 1,672 corners, 38 per lap. And the Group 1, Group C, Sauber Mercedes C9, Mazda 767B and the Nissan 92C, Porsche 962C and the Jaguar XJR look like they were choices, but I don't know if anyone's taken them up or Shadow Rider in. We looked, didn't we? He's in the Nissan. And the Group 3 choices were just the Ferrari 458 GT3 and the Ford GT LM test car. So, cracking stuff. And ooh, we've got details on other people as well. Car number 9, GT Racer. Here we go. Is he saying ready? Ooh, it's exciting stuff. It's GT Racer. This is his second VRC endurance race following Group 3 P6 at Nürburgring. Let me give it a big R to indicate my readiness. Oh, I can hear the coffee machine bubbling away in the background, so the training of my Padawan has gone well. You can't walk away from the coffee machine. Always watch the coffee machine. So GT Racer, this is his second event with us in the endurances, I mean. Who else we got? Matt Psycho, my word, there's got to be a lot with Matt. He's done every single one, hasn't he? 6th endurance entry, 4 overall podiums, Spa 2.5 a winner in the Group 1s, P6 and 10 in Group 3 at Le Mans. So, yes. Oh, God, more chat. Liam saying, good luck all, and Sharon saying, hello, San Francisco. Doesn't say that, he just says hello. I just flourished it up a little bit. So, man alive, we're ready for this. The guys all prepping themselves, and there is the final starting as we speak, counting down the seconds before we start. 2.5 hours of beautiful racing here at the Circuit de la Sarthe in France somewhere. France is a big country, so I'm not even going to guess whereabouts it is. And that is the grid that I read to you earlier, so, you know, we're no repeats here at VRC. I won't say it again. It's a rolling start, thank God, because anything else would just make my mind blow. Skyjacker, a lot of pressure on his shoulders right now, with Matt Psycho, Binko, Liam Anfield, Daz and GT Racer and Shadow Rider all wanting his position. Racer Brown ahead of Guesty, Homesick Alien, Jokus, and it's a go, go, go. Skyjacker pulling away, straight away, trying to build a gap for this long event, and Binko already looking like he's having a look at Matt Psycho, trying to get the job done early doors. It's an endurance race, not a sprint. They've got to remember, they've got to chill, but he's got Liam Anfield breathing down his neck also, down in the, oh God, GT Racer's off to a bad start already. Oh my word, he's off the track. He's off the track and he's finding himself, the Group 3's coming by. Oh my word, but Racer Brown leading those Group 3 cars, with Guesty in second, Homesick Alien in third. He's alongside a GT Racer at the moment. Jim there in fourth, Turtle in fifth, Pat in sixth, and Rido in seventh. But what's changed up front? Matt Psycho's coming for an attack on Skyjacker. An attack he does. He's in the lead already. Bang tidy there from Matt Psycho as he wiggles into the chicane. The first chicane around here at the South, and Binko there in third, Liam Anfield in fourth, and Daz in fifth. We've lost GT Racer a little bit, and Shadow Rider there trying to get up to speed. I don't know how much practice he's managed to have, but Skyjacker will be getting a tow up this second part of the straight before the second chicane. Can he close in on Matt Psycho, or will? Whoa, whoa, he clutches him up very quickly under braking, but it's not too much drama there. A little tap, a little love tap at the back of Psycho. But I mean, these guys, they've got a long race to go. They might be thinking that they want to do a bit of fuel saving, sit behind each other, find the tow, but no, Skyjacker wants that lead. He says screw the fuel saving, and he's going wide. Oh, he's gone very wide, and Matt Psycho then goes into the lead. Binko into second, Liam Anfield up to third, Staz into fourth, and Skyjacker scrabbling to get back on the track there, but he gets overtaken by Shadow Rider, and he goes to sixth with GT Racer in seventh. Racer Brown still holding the lead there from Guesty in the group threes. Homesick Alien in third, with Jokers not too far behind there in fourth. Turtle in fifth, Jim in sixth, Pat in seventh, Rido in eighth. Oh, thank you very much, my favourite son. And Binko now leading. Binko's leading. Well, my word, oh my word, oh my word. What's happened to Mr. Psycho? He's already behind him. Oh, and he's gone a little bit awry there. Oh, he's lost the back end, and oh my word, these cars are difficult to drive for these boys, and the damage is real, guys. The damage is real. If they damage their car, they've damaged their car. It's not going to go away for them. So Binko then takes the lead, 2.5 seconds ahead of Daz. So this is really not what we was expecting. Liam Anfield's got a bit of damage as well. My word, early doors, I said it was an endurance, not a sprint. These boys have gone for it straight away, and now they found they're carrying a bit of damage. Can they live with the damage, or will they have to come in and do some repairs? As I scrabble to look for the map for Le Sart, because I am so crap, as my wife says. Is that a dig for the 3 alarms during dinner? You can hear my iPad flickering away as I scramble to find a map so I can tell you some of these corners, although I get the corners wrong anyway, so it seems pointless. I had it last Friday. Yes, Lincoln's in. I got him in earlier. I could tell you... Oh yeah, that's it. That's Le Sart. Is it? It says Mulsanne. No, Murray's Corner. That's Bathurst. Looks a little bit like it. A bit more hillier. What's going on at the moment? Binko still leading from Daz, but Liam Anfield really putting some pressure on Daz at the moment, and I think we're going to go mapless because I don't know where I put it. I had it last week. Dipper. That's Bathurst again. I've got 2 Bathurst maps. Interesting. Nope, no map. Where would that have gone? I would have left it around handy because I had it. Oh, it looks like it's the only thing that went back into the cupboard. So we're back with a map. We can find our way around this track, and I'll get you back up to speed where we are. So Binko is leading at the moment, 1.8 seconds ahead. We're on lap 2 of 44. Daz in second. I bet he cannot believe it. Awesome stuff. Liam Anfield in third, carrying a little bit of damage on that front splitter. Skyjacker, no damage, but he's 3.2 seconds behind Liam Anfield at the moment. Matt Psycho's carrying a bit of suspension damage and front splitter. He's 5.3 seconds behind Skyjacker. Shadow Rider is in 6th place. 6.5 seconds behind Matt Psycho, but no damage. GT Racer in 7th. He's carrying a bit of damage as well already early doors. Racer Brown 2.6 seconds ahead of Guesty in his Ford GT, with Guesty in 2nd, only 2 seconds ahead of Homesick Alien. The GT3 cars seeming to do okay at the moment. No damage looking on the top 3 there. Joker's in 4th. He's only 1.7 seconds behind the Alien, with Turtle nearly 4 seconds behind those guys, but still looking good. Jim closing in on Turtle, only 1.5 seconds behind in that slipstream. Pat is in 7th, sorry. ahead of Arido, who's carrying a little bit of damage in that heel tread Ferrari. Oh my word. Wow, we have had nothing but action so far, and we're just going to take a second to watch Binko make his way around. Binko having an absolute corker. And Mama Homesick giving the smiley faces. Liam saying good luck all. We said that. Jim saying good luck all. And Mama Homesick saying good luck Homesick. And Mama Sykes saying go Matt. It's the battle of the mums. So Binko so far leading from Daz. Excuse me. Liam Anfield trying to carry that damage. Well, see, we can't say about lap times at the moment because we haven't got really much comparison to go by. 3:23 from Binko, which seems to be the fastest so far, but he is the first to cross the line as they start lap 3. 3:24 from Daz. Liam Anfield doing a 3:25. Skyjacker at 3:22, so Skyjacker back on the ascendancy there. He's back on it. Matt Psycho at 3:31. That damage might be hurting him, but he doesn't want to pit, I guess, so far. Already using up a quarter of a tank of fuel, those guys out there. So the pit stops will be thick and fast soon. Shadow Rider there in 6th doing a 3:27, only 4.4 seconds behind Mr. Psycho, and GT Racer is only 6 seconds behind Shadow Rider. So GT Racer with that damage is getting on top of it. They're already 40 odd seconds ahead of the leader of the Group 3s in the second class, the Racer Brown. And he's pulled 4 seconds out on Guesty at the moment. It looks like Racer Brown's just going to have this one. Slam dunk. Thank you, sir. Homesick Alien still staying with Guesty as close as he possibly can. But as soon as those tyres start wearing out, you'll see Guesty do some magic. Jokus in 4th place, only 1.1 seconds behind Homesick Alien. He can almost smell the exhaust fumes off of that Ferrari. And he'll be in the tow pretty soon. We've got some close racing here between Jim and Turtle. Turtle trying to make a move on Jim, was it there? We just missed, I'm not sure. Pat in 14th, some 4.5 seconds behind Turtle. And Rido carrying that damage around. He's it's a long way till the pit stop, you see, so I guess none of these guys with that damage will want to pit this early into the race. And they'll want to make it worth a while, maybe down to half a tank, so, you know, lap 6, possibly. Binko 1.3 seconds ahead of Daz. Daz on the move, it seems. Then Liam Anfield in 3rd, and it's Skyjacker that's catching up Liam Anfield. Let's get on board with Skyjacker. Car 99, the pole sitter. We saw on the first lap, he made a small mistake, went wide, and half the field come flying past him. And he has got an undamaged car at the moment, where Liam Anfield's carrying a little bit of front aero damage, which will be costing him in the corners, possibly not so much on the straights, but in those corners his car is not going to be fun. I think he also is in the Sauber. He is. Another another sip of the Blossom Hill. That wasn't a sip, that was a glug. Ooh-ay. So Binko in the relentless Mazda at the moment, leading the way, 1.9 seconds from Daz, whom is in the Sauber. Chasing him down, trying to catch him up. Liam Anfield in 3rd, and Skyjacker really is starting to catch him up. We'll get back on board with Skyjacker as they come through the Ford chicanes. Oh, Skyjacker just trying to keep that Sauber within the limits as he hunts himself a bit of Liam Anfield. Again, getting the fastest lap of the race. Everyone's tyres are looking pretty good at the moment. We've just started lap 4, only 40 more to go. And Matt Psycho has decided to put it into the pits. He's changing his strategy. And what can he do? It's a long drive, so still all to play for, and other people may still damage their cars from here on in. So it's not over by a long shot, I tell thee. Skyjacker looks like he's lost a bit to Liam Anfield through Tetra Rouge. And like I always say, and there's a few gone in. GT Race has gone in to fix his. Matt Psycho, honestly. Oh, and Shadow Rider must have had a big one. He's got engine damage, suspension damage, and rear aero damage. Matt Psycho back out into the fight. He's some 52 seconds down on Skyjacker, but like I said, it's a long way to go. It's not over. I've seen Matt Psycho do wonders from that far back before, so let's not count him out just yet. Racer Brown easily leads threes around in his Ford. Some 4.5 seconds ahead of Guesty, who's only just 3 seconds ahead of Homesick Alien. Joker's doing a fantastic job keeping up with Homesick Alien there. Only 1.7 seconds. Oh, it looks like Turtle and Jim have both dropped back a little bit. Oh, Jim's dropped back into Pat's area. So Pat will be looking to get racy with the Jim on this lap as they come around Corvette curves, I believe that is. So sat on board with Pat in 7th place, fighting Jim, whom is in 6th place for the Group 3 cars. He's having a look one way, he's looking the other way. Oh my word, this is going to be tight. Coming down to the Ford chicanes. Pat making the move, and he makes it stick. There you go, Pat through, ahead of the Jim. Oh, wrong button. And Jim, he's not carrying damage. Maybe he's fuel saving, but Jim now coming back at Pat as they come out of that chicane, as they come into the Dunlop curve. I believe the Dunlop curve. Yeah, Dunlop curve. It is. Heading up to the Dunlop chicane. And there you go, Jim getting the position back from Pat. And we've had some corking racing so far. Hoo-wee. There is Rido still getting... Oh, Rido's damaged almost everything. He just hasn't broke a couple of suspension rods. He's going to have to slam that one into the pits. So, meanwhile, Binko is 2.2 seconds ahead of Daz. He cannot shake Daz. Daz is sticking with him, tenacious. The Sonax car, absolutely glorious as it chases down the relentless Mazda. And them two are making a real fight of this. Liam Anfield's gone in, that front splinter damage. Oh yeah, Skyjacker's got ahead of Liam Anfield somewhere along the way. So now Skyjacker up to a 3rd place, only 3 seconds behind Daz, and he is doing some beautiful lap times. Although Binko's last one, a 22.7, and Daz doing a 23.4. Skyjacker doing a 23.4 also. That last lap, Liam has put it into the pits, and that is going to help Mr. Psycho out no end as he makes his way around. He's going to be in touching distance of Liam Anfield. So this is a Caracal-lacking GT Sport. GT Racer we saw was in the pits, and he's got himself ahead of Shadow Rider. Shadow Rider chasing him down. Shadow Rider we saw carrying a lot of damage in that pit stop. And now Liam Anfield is out of the pits, and the time hasn't sorted itself out between him and there you go, 12 seconds, 14 seconds. Matt Psycho is behind Liam Anfield. Matt Psycho had a little bit more damage than Liam Anfield to fix, and Liam Anfield has topped up with fuel, where it doesn't look like Matt Psycho bothered with fuel in his pit stop. Cracking stuff. Alpha Nut saying evening. Hello, Alpha Nut. So Binko is the man leading at the moment, but only 1.5 seconds from Daz. Daz really making a push for it at the moment. And Skyjacker keeping them honest, only 3 seconds behind them, chasing them down, getting those purples. Then you've got Liam Anfield some 40 seconds behind after his pit stop to fix whatever he busted, his front splitter, and to top up with a bit of fuel. We got Matt Psycho already pitted because of his busted Mercedes. GT Racer in 6th place. Looked like he was really out of it in the first lap, but he's coming back into the race now. He's ahead of Shadow Rider, who's chasing him down. Only 2.3 seconds behind him, though. Then in the second class, the Group 3s, we have a Racer Brown. He's edged that lead out now to 5 seconds from Guesty. Did a 57.2 his last time around. What's he going to do this time? Another 57.2, is that? It is very consistent. And a 58.4 for Guesty there. And he looks like 3.5 seconds back to Homesick Alien in third place. And Homesick Alien cannot shake Jokas off. Jokas sticking with him within that 2-second realm in his Ford GT. Turtle Racing now is in 12th. And he's just done his best lap of a 3:59.5. He's 17 seconds behind Jokas and 15 seconds ahead of Jim. Jim we saw getting overtaken by Pat and then re-overtaking him. He's edged out 2 seconds on Pat at the moment. And there is Pat in 7th, Rido in 8th. He's been in and fixed all of that damage on his car. And I guess he's just using this as a bit of a test session. He did jump in last minute. Ooh, what's he gone over there for? Don't look at the YouTube channel. Look at the roads. Don't watch me. He just wanted to see his own car on on YouTube. Looked like there was the right amount of delay there. So Binko, oh, Daz has really caught up Binko now. Is Binko starting to try and do a bit of fuel saving out there in the lead? And Daz closing in on him in the Sauber Mercedes as they make their way through the early part of the track up to Tetre Rouge and then onto the Honda Days. Daz trying his hardest to catch that Mazda up. It's only 4/10. He should be able to grab a tow, but it doesn't look like he's opting to go for the tow. Now he's pulled into the tow. You can do a bit of fuel saving when you're behind the tow. A little lift as you get near the top end. You turn your engine down on the straights at Le Mans. It's so long. You can feel these into the brakes as they hit the first chicane. There's only 4/10 between these two. Skyjacker only 1.8 seconds behind this battle. He's catching it up. And he wants his lead back that he had at the beginning of this race. Half a tank of fuel. We're on lap 6. It looks like we're coming across the first of the Group 3 cars. And it looks like Binko's going to catch him up in the chicane. You don't want that. You want to just catch him up on the straight. That's Pat. And it looks like Pat's Ferrari as they both blast past. Pat must have been buzzing from that. And look, Daz is really closing up now. This is a beautiful stuff here. Mazda versus Sauber. And there you go. The Sauber is through. So Daz now leading Le Mans 21 here for the Virtual Racers Club. Well done, Daz. He's ahead of the Mazda, and there's Skyjacker catching him up also. We can find Jim. We'll get on board with Jim. You can see these cars blasting past. Oh, they've all gone. If we go to Turtle, maybe. How far away are they? They're quite away from Turtle. So for now, we'll just watch as Daz leads. Binko getting into a battle with Skyjacker. Cracking stuff as they head around Arnage, Indianapolis and Arnage. Heading up towards the Porsche curves. It's cracking stuff. Very tight here. Binko coming back at Daz, leading the way with Skyjacker very close behind them. There is a Turtle. Does he know what's coming his way? That wide there. He makes his way towards the Ford chicanes. He had a wide on, yeah. So there is Turtle coming through. He's lost the car a little bit, but he's there in the Ford chicane. And oh, that car is wiggly as he hits the start straight, heading up towards Dunlop curve. He's sitting in 5th place at the moment, doing a cracking job, holding station. He's 17 seconds behind Jokas, and he's 17 seconds ahead of Jim. And there goes one. That's Daz leading the way. And here comes the other two. Oh, is it Skyjacker? Skyjacker's just got himself ahead of Binko. So, cracking stuff, and that's what it looks like in a Group 3 car when these cars come flying by. Beautiful stuff. So, there we go. Daz is leading from Skyjacker. Skyjacker just getting through past Binko as they come through Tetre Rouge. Then we've got Liam Anfield. He's only 11.9 seconds, but he's just done the fastest lap of the race. He's done a 3:20.5 as Matt Psycho is trying to close the gap between them two. Matt Psycho doing a 3:20.9. He's just done a 21. But Liam Anfield, good on fuel. The other guys are going to be pitting before Liam Anfield. And that may put Liam Anfield right in the battle here. Although he'll be pitting not long after them. He's only got a quarter of a tank more than those guys. At the moment, though, Daz doing the job. Binko chasing down Skyjacker there for the top 3 in the other class. So we've got Racer Brown 7.3 seconds ahead of Guesty. Guesty is in second, 3.1 seconds ahead of the Alien. Homesick Alien in third, some 2.6 seconds. He's edging away from Jokus now. And he's not lost sight of Guesty just ahead of him. And Jokus in 4th place. We have Turtle in 5th, and these guys are quite spaced out down here. But the battle is here. This is the battle. Skyjacker versus Binko. And Binko back ahead of Skyjacker. We're missing it all. I keep cutting away at the wrong times, it seems. But Binko, and now they're coming across Jokus. GT Racer's back in the pits. Has he got a bit of damage? He has got a bit of damage. And that puts Shadow Rider up into 6th place. But as we see these cars trying to navigate their way through the GR3 cars. And Binko there just ahead of Skyjacker. Skyjacker chasing him down. And it's a force and a half. We get on board with Guesty as he's trundling along in his own little world, trying to keep up with Racer Brown and stay ahead of Homesick Alien. There goes Daz. Wonderful stuff. He's getting right over on the other side. That looks like Binko. And Skyjacker's lost a bit of time to Binko there as they make their way around Indianapolis. Then on age. No, I'm in the wrong place, sorry. That's Corvette curves or Porsche curves or something like that. This is why I don't like using the map. I haven't got time to look. Guesty slinging that forward as fast as he can. He's 4.3 seconds ahead of Homesick Alien now. 7.2 seconds behind Racer Brown. But the battle here is the top 3. They're very tight, very close. Let's have a look from Skyjacker's car. Sitting on board with 3rd place. And it looks like Binko is starting to catch up Daz again. As they make their way past Racer Brown. There you go. Racer Brown. Oh, and Skyjacker really deep on the brakes. I think he was too much concentrating on getting past Racer Brown than the corner that was coming up. And he's lost a bit of distance on the front 2 there. Chin chin. Well, I tell you what, crisp and fruity. And Blossom, yeah. It's only £5. That's cheap. Get a little head buzz for £5. Wow. I'd get a bigger head buzz, but my wife came and stole half of it. No, I've got no spare. I've got like 1 glass worth left, and that's for me. Look, you drunk yours already. You better go up the co-op then, ain't you? Careful, it's dark. Someone might try and kidnap you. So up ahead, Binko's made a move on. Daz has got a wiggle on. Daz had a bit of a wiggle on. Is he starting to feel the tyres? Whereas Binko now up in the lead with Daz in second. Skyjacker catching him up in 3rd place. Oh my word, these guys are all going to be coming into the pits pretty soon. They're only on a quarter of a tank of fuel. And Binko back in the lead from Daz. With Skyjacker in 3rd place. Liam Anfield in 4th. And he's managing that distance between himself and Matt Psycho, with Shadow Rider in 6th, quite ahead of GT Racer after GT Racer having to fix his car. Racer Brown 7.7 seconds ahead of Guesty in the Class 2 race, with Guesty in 2nd, Homesick Alien in 3rd place, and it looks like Jokus is starting to close back up on the Alien. Is the Alien starting to do a bit of fuel saving? Let's have a look at the fuel of these boys further back. So, Racer Brown. Oh, Racer Brown's really burnt through his fuel, where Guesty and Homesick haven't. So, Racer Brown's really throttling that Ford. Jokers, he's used up a lot of fuel next to the cars around him. Jim, he's been good with fuel at the moment. Oh, Turtle's dropped back. Turtle looks like he has pitted, put new tyres on, filled up, and he's chasing that Pat down. He'll be waiting for the rest of the field to pit. And Rido, he's still cracking on, bless him. But at the moment, Binko is leading. Ooh, that's Rido, I think you can see in the distance. Having a bit of a wiggle on. It's uncertain. Binko coming around past him. He's got through. Beautiful stuff for Binko. Skyjacker. Oh, Daz has dropped back. He's dropped back quite a bit as well. Nearly 10 seconds. Is he feeling the pressure with those tyres? No, they're just not as grippy enough for him now. Possibly ready for a pit stop there, Daz. You never know. And Skyjacker trying to hunt himself a Mazda as Binko leads the way. 1.5 seconds. He blasts past the pits. He's not interested, nor is Skyjacker. Daz, is he possibly? Can he be tempted for a new set of tyres? The tyres don't look too bad, but you never know. With these beasts, you want all the grip you can get. Liam Anfield then, he's lost a bit of time to Matt Psycho on this lap. Just this lap alone, he was up to 12 seconds. It's down to 10.5. So Matt is either on a mega lap or Liam Anfield's had a P-poor one. Who knows? Maybe he had to get past a couple of Group 3 cars, and there goes Racer Brown. Racer Brown, we said he was burning that fuel, and he's gone in now. And Guesty carries on with all that fuel still on board. Says, see ya. Homesick Alien, he's good for fuel as well. He's carrying on around, and Matt Psycho's caught up the Ferrari. It's lovely seeing the two classes together on track. And there you go, Matt Psycho blasting past the Alien. Jokers has gone into the pits also. His fuel is really bad. So Racer Brown only just getting to his pit box. And Jokers there doing the long drive up the pit lane. Jim's good for fuel, it seems. I think he's going to carry on round. Pat's okay. Turtle is just pitted. He's got loads of fuel. And he's making up ground now. But in the lead, Binko versus Skyjacker. And it looks like Daz has dropped back a little bit. Maybe he's conserving fuel. He's not got as much as these two are leading at the moment. My gosh. So car 49 versus car 99. Ooh, 99. Mr. Whippy, eh? We were flaking it. I'll have some of that. Cool down this room a little. So Skyjacker 1.3 seconds behind the Binks. Hunting him down here at Le Saf. We're on lap 9 of 44. We're still a million miles to go. We're nearly 30 minutes into this 2.5 hour race. Not nearly 30, it's 29.5 minutes. Every second counts for these boys out there at the moment. Daz dropping back 8.4 seconds in third. Liam Anfield on a different strategy. He topped up with fuel when he went in and fixed his car. So when these guys pit, Liam should be in the lead for at least a lap or two before he has to pit. So it'll be interesting to see. There are no slouchers out there. Liam, Matt Psycho, all of the drivers are no slouchers. So can't count any of them out. And also with the jeopardy of the damage, anyone could befall a hit on a barrier, especially after a pit stop. They've put fresh tyres on, they're quite cold. You never know what's going to happen. There goes Binko though. Binko doing a cracking job at the moment. Saw him drop back to third at one point. He's forced his way back up to the lead. With Skyjacker keeping, well, he dropped down to about 5th on the first lap. And he's come through 4-second spot at the moment, 30 minutes into this race. Just starting a lap 10. He's catching Binko up in this section. As they they go through the Dunlop curve, Dunlop chicane. He's on his tail. The Mazda stepping out on Binko at the moment. Daz has gone into the pits. Daz has gone into the pits. His fuel is flashing. That puts Liam Anfield up into third. Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho's... I don't think it's sorted itself out yet. Yeah, it's trying to sort itself out. It's not counting Daz at the moment. There you go. Ooh, Matt Psycho's lost a bit to Liam Anfield again. Maybe Matt Psycho turning down the engine slightly, trying to eke that fuel out. He did a 322.3 his last time around. Liam Anfield doing a 320. So yeah, I think Matt Psycho's playing the strategy game at the moment, turning the fuel down on his car to make it last longer. Whereas Liam, he topped up in his pit stop and he's away. Guesty now pitting. Guesty is now pitting from the lead of the Group 3s. Homesick Alien following him in. And we saw Racer Brown pitting a lap earlier, as did Jokas. Can they get the jump? Well, I'm assuming Racer Brown will get ahead of those boys, but has Jokas done enough to make the jump on Homesick Alien? He's only 2.1 seconds ahead of Jim, but Jim looks like he's ready for a pit stop. Pat, he's still got a bit of fuel in that car yet. He might be able to eke another lap or two out. 10 seconds adrift from Jim. Turtle, we saw pitting earlier, so he's got plenty of fuel. He's hoping this race comes back to him. And Rido out there in 8th, I believe. And here we are, these two battling it out. And Shadow Rider's gone in as well. Shadow Rider has pitted, so GT Racer might be able to get himself back ahead of Shadow Rider. And Skyjacker is back on the attack from 2, Binko. One of them from 2, maybe. Oh, that looked very close between the two of them. You don't want to make too much contact with that damage on, and Skyjacker's fuel is flashing. How's Binko's fuel? Flashing also. These two are definitely going to pit on this lap. We possibly could see Liam Anfield taking the lead of this race. He's got half a tank of fuel left. So it looks like Liam Anfield, having to go in and fix that damage and put a bit of fuel in, has played a corker at the moment. Matt Psycho, he's low on fuel. He's going to have to go in. There's Daz after his pit stop. He's 14.9 seconds behind Matt Psycho, so he should get back ahead of Mr. Psycho. What will he do against the two leaders as they battle it out, trying to burn the last of their fuel away? And Racer Brown did retake the lead. Guesty out in second, and Jokers did get the jump on Homesick Alien, but Homesick Alien has got the toe coming down the straight, and it looks like Homesick Alien making the move on Jokers. Oh, they're side by side. No, Homesick Alien's not quite done it. Jokers trying to control that car through the chicane, and there you go. But now Homesick Alien there again in the toe, trying to give it another go, and he does, it seems. No, all he can do is get alongside the Ford. We think the Ford might have a little bit more top end than the Ferrari, but there you go, the Ferrari through and back into third place. Jokers in fourth, and it's tight racing between these two out there at the moment. Ford versus Ferrari. Liam Anfield, it looks like, has gone through to take the lead, and he's got a nice bit of fuel on board. So the Brute Ferrari, the Brute sponsored Ferrari, has just managed to get ahead of Jokers. Liam Anfield flying out there, half a tank of fuel. He might have pulled a blinder, you know. Skyjacker, Binko and Matt Psycho all into the pits. Binko back out ahead of Skyjacker, and Daz making the jump on Matt Psycho, as Matt Psycho still hasn't got to the pit block yet. Shadow Rider did get ahead of GT Racer in the pit stops, but only just. GT Racer very close to Shadow Rider. Then we have Racer Brown leading the Group 3s with Guesty in second, Homesick Alien in third. He's pulled away from Jokers now, he's got past him. Jokers in fourth, Pat in fifth, Jim in sixth. So Jim's lost something there. Oh, he's pitted, and he's ended up behind Turtle and Pat. Pat's needing to pit though, his fuel's very low. So that should put Turtle... Oh, Turtle's had a bad one there in Mulsanne. corner. And there goes Jim through. Oh, there was a little contact, but it doesn't look like it's damaged their cars, luckily. Let's have a look at Turtle. No, Turtle's got no damage as well, so that was very lucky for them pair. But now Jim back up ahead of Turtle, whilst Liam Anfield leading the way, and still got a fair bit of fuel on that bad boy. So Liam Anfield doing an absolutely corking job. He had to go in and fix some damage, and he altered his strategy, filled up with fuel, and it served him well so far. Binko and Skyjacker are just stuck, locked horns in that battle out there between the Mazda and the Sauber, and who knows who's going to come on top between these two. Both topped right up with fuel, brand new racing soft tyres, and Skyjacker just trying to find a way past Binko at the moment. We're on lap 11 of 44. We're 1/4 into this race. And Daz in fourth, having a bunny up over an invisible cone. Matt Psycho back out of the pits, topped up. Not quite topped up though. He's being savvy with that fuel. Shadow Rider in 6th place in a battle with GT Racer as they navigate their way past the 3rd place Group 3 car, the Ferrari of Homesick Alien. And these two having a lovely little battle out there. The Nissan versus the Nissan. Two Nissans. See? Beautiful. So we've got two Nissans fighting it out for 6th and 7th. Racer Brown, the leader of the Group 3s. And he's nearly 9.6 seconds ahead of Guesty now, as Guesty gets overtaken by a Shadow Rider. And GT Racer is going to come across him in the chicane. That's a struggle, but no. He's not quite close enough to make a move yet. Homesick Alien in 3rd. He has pulled away from Jokers quite nicely now. 3 seconds ahead of him. These guys are only on lap 10 of their race. And Jokerson in 4th. Jim in 5th, as Pat has pitted now. It's put him behind Turtle. And his Ferrari looking like it's seen better days. A bit scuffed up at the front there. I don't know if that's... No, there might not be scuffs. There might be the actual paintwork. Splodges. And Pat looking like he's got a little lag going on. And ooh, we got this. Turtle and Jim. Turtle and Jim having a battle. So Turtle getting himself ahead of Jim. Maybe Jim doing a bit of fuel saving. Maybe Turtle getting a good tow. I'm not sure. But Turtle moving up into 5th place ahead of the Ferrari. Pat in 7th, Rido in 8th position. Liam Anfield then, what's he going to do? He's got a 1/4 of a tank of fuel so far in this race. He's come across a few Group 3 cars as it stands, trying to find his way by. In the chat, Pat saying, nice to see beyond lap 7 this time. I'm in the pits when typing this. Still, it's a distraction, Pat. Oh, yeah, chin-chin. Ah, yeah. So Liam Anfield slicing through the field. 21 seconds. Oh, Skyjacker's ahead of Binko by 5.6 seconds. Binko. Oh, no. What happened to Binko? We can try, but I imagine we'll not see. No, it's already happened. What has happened? That's a damn shame. Damn shame. So now Skyjacker freed of that battle, trying to chase down Liam Anfield. And he's on virtually a full tank of fuel, with Liam Anfield on a 1/4 of a tank of fuel. And this is some tight stuff here. Binko in 3rd place with Daz in 4th, only 9.8 seconds behind Binko, which around here at Les Arts for 2.5 hours is absolutely nothing. Mez will be 10th. Matt Psycho 22.1 seconds behind Daz. He'll be trying to get a jump on Liam Anfield after Liam Anfield's pit. He's getting purples. He's going for that fastest lap. So far, Liam Anfield's got the fastest lap with a 3:20.581. Shadow Rider in 6th, 3.4 seconds ahead of GT Racer. Then in the Group 3s, we've got Racer Brown in 1st place, 9 seconds ahead of 2nd place Guesty. The two Fords absolutely trouncing it out there, with the highest Ferrari in third of Homesick Alien. He's pulled a little further away from Jocus. 5.4 seconds ahead of fourth place is Homesick Alien. In fourth is Jocus in his Ford. And Jim some way back, but Jim and Turtle are in an absolute corker of a battle. We saw Turtle just overtaking Jim, and Skyjacker's caught these guys up. As you see, Skyjacker trying to come through. And there he goes. Had to wait for him. That will help Binko. No end, but Binko now, I imagine, getting caught up in the Ford chicanes behind these two Group 3 cars as Turtle closes up on Jim again. And Jim and Turtle are having an absolute corker out there at the moment. I'm expecting a Mazda to come burning past at any time now, but yeah, it looks like Binko's fallen back some way from Skyjacker. And there we go into the chicanes. There is the Mazda. Beautiful stuff. And Turtle just easing off a little bit, but the Group 3 cars don't really have to. It's down to the Group 1 cars to make their way through. But Turtle losing a bit of time now on Jim in his Ferrari. He's absolutely pelting it. It's closed up again on Jim as they go through a Tetre Rouge. Turtle getting that toe from the Ferrari, trying to close up. So we get on board. Oh, you can see he just flies up to the back of Jim as he gets that toe and blasts past. This is these two just having fun out there, it seems. Liam Anfield, meanwhile, 21.8 second lead. He's just under a quarter of a tank of fuel. Skyjacker, he's pushing hard. He did a 23 his last lap, but he did come across a couple of Group 3 cars. Now he's 5 seconds ahead of the Binks. Binko going faster than he's gone so far in this race with a 3:21.9. Then we have Daz in fourth. 10 seconds adrift of those guys. Matt Psycho in fifth. Matt Psycho trying to calculate how he can get back into a fighting position for the win. We've still got a long way to go in this race. We're just on lap 13. So there's still 31 laps of goodness to go around here. As Matt comes across Pat in the Group 3 car and just blasts past him. Hi Pat, bye Pat, Matt Psycho says. And you'll be probably thinking of all of the mean things Liam Anfield's going to type about him in Discord. If Liam Anfield finishes ahead of him, that should be enough to spur him on to try and get a one-up on Liam Anfield. Liam Anfield doing a cracking job, but remember, he's out of sequence, he's out of pit sequence to the rest of the guys, and he hasn't quite got a pit stop, and it looks like Guesty and Racer Brown have closed right up. So there is Racer Brown only tenths ahead of Guesty. Racer Brown crossing the line of 4:06.8, and Guesty doing a 3:58. So yeah, it looks like Racer Brown had a poor lap on that last time around, and Guesty has really closed up on... Oh, he's got damage. Racer Brown has got damage. The leader must have given the wall a knock somewhere, and now Guesty all over the back of him in second place. And this is terrible for Racer Brown. He had an absolutely cracking lead on the rest of the field. And it looks like he's asked too much of that Ford. And now he's carrying some damage, a bit of front aero damage and a bit of suspension damage on that right-hand side. And that's given Guesty the opportunity to close right up on him. And there's not really much you can do in the way of defence, but it looks like Guesty might be trying to fuel save behind him. No, he's up now. He's going for the toe into the first chicane. And it looks like the move is made. Interesting stuff. Is Racer Brown going to live with that damage, or is he going to come straight into the pits? He's got Homesick Alien 7.4 seconds behind him. But he's getting a tow from Guesty at the moment. That will help him against Homesick Alien. But still, it's a long lap to carry damage around here. James saying, come on, Liam. He's doing okay, but his fuel is now flashing. He's 24.3 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. Skyjacker slicing through those Group 3 cars. He's now 13 seconds ahead of the Binks. Oh, the Binks is carrying damage. That's going to help Daz out. No end. Daz closing that gap by half. He was nearly 10 seconds behind. Now he's down to less than 5 seconds, 4.5 seconds behind the Binks. And we're seeing a little bit of fatigue kicking in at 46 minutes into this race. Small mistakes being made by these top runners. Racer Brown with his damage. But Homesick Alien's not closing that gap so far, only 7.3 seconds behind him. Possibly unaware that Racer Brown has got a bit of damage there. Skyjacker slicing past the leaders in his hunt for Liam Anfield. We're expecting Liam Anfield to sling that one into the pits at the end of this lap. And we've got 30 laps to go so far. And there is Skyjacker in second place. Should retake the lead of this race. Binko carrying that damage. What will he do? Will he continue? Will he go in? He's lost some time on Daz. Daz flying now. He'll be getting a bit of a Brucey bonus up. Seeing that the times have dropped between him and third place. Looking for a podium position. Matt Psycho getting purples. There goes Liam. Liam's into the pits. He was around about 10 seconds ahead of Matt Psycho when Matt Psycho pitted. Matt Psycho's used up half of his tank of fuel. So where will this put Liam out? Skyjacker not quite there yet though. He's just got to the Ford chicanes in his lovely pink Rockstar car. That nearly lands. So now Skyjacker takes the lead of this race. What will Binko do? He stayed out. He stayed out. He thinks he can live with that aero damage. Daz closing the gap between them. It's down to 2.8 seconds now. And Daz will be on it. He'll be smelling blood out there. Liam Anfield still at his pit box. Where is Matt Psycho? He's coming up to the Ford chicanes. Liam's now on the move. He's coming out of the pits. He gets back in fourth place, and Matt Psycho's just crossing the start line. So it's around about the same distance between himself and Liam Anfield. So, interesting stuff. Liam Anfield 5 seconds behind Daz, who's only 2 seconds behind. Oh, Binko, who's trying to get past the Group 3 car, the leader, Guesty. And let's have a look how Homesick is doing with... yeah, he's got it down to 5.7 seconds to Racer Brown. Racer Brown continuing with that damage as the Group 1 cars blast past. There goes Liam Anfield, trying to chase down those leaders. It's very tight out there. Skyjacker then, 16-second lead of this race. Just coming up to 50 minutes in. We're on lap 15 of 44. Another sip of the wine. I don't know how if you guys wanted to know that. That's what happens. And Skyjacker then, 16-second lead from Binko. Binko carrying that damage, and Daz has caught him up. Daz is there. Daz is knocking on his back door. He's saying, yoo-hoo. My car's not damaged. Do you want to look at my front of my car? Look, look. Look at that. It's clean. No scratches. So there you go, Daz up into second place. Fantastic stuff from Daz. Very nice manoeuvre there. And he is through in his Sauber. The Mazda now down to third place. And Liam Anfield only 5 seconds behind the broken. Broken, Mazda. It's broken. It's broken, Binko. It's broken. So Liam Anfield, he'll be smelling blood as well. He'll be fancying that. Indeedly doodly, he will. Matt Psycho, you can't count him out there in 5th place. Got that early damage, but it's not over yet. He'll have a cunning plan in car 16. GT Racer ahead of Shadow Rider. So Shadow Rider's last lap, a 3:27.0. GT Racer doing a 3:26.0. These two are in an absolutely smashing battle back there in 6th and 7th. The two Nissans cracking on. Then Guesty in 1st place for the Group 3 cars. Racer Brown only 4 seconds ahead of Homesick Alien. He's managing a 4:02 out there with that damage. Homesick Alien a 3:59, so he should catch him up in a lap or two. And Mama Homesick saying, Thingy, a wine drinker, who knew? Well, you know, just on special occasions, just on Le Mans days. I was trying to find French wine, but when I saw that Blossom Hill was only a £5, I thought, screw French wine. I know. Tastes all right, though. Look, you can have half of what's in the bottle. Honestly, I don't mind. Oh, look at you. Nearly run with that glass. You think Thingy's a wine drinker, Mrs. Thingy's a wine drinker. She guzzles hers. I've been sipping. You don't gulp it. It's not Coke. It's not Coca-Cola. Oh, it's not water. It's not. Jesus hasn't touched it, you know. You'll be asleep in 10 minutes. So Homesick Alien closing in on Racer Brown. Skyjacker at the moment leading the way. 16.8 seconds ahead of Daz. Daz has got a lot less fuel on board than Skyjacker. Oh, it's a very tight one. Binko, oh, here we go. Liam Anfield has caught up Binko now. Binko's broken car, not giving him the speed that he needs. And he's going to lose that podium position so far. And Liam Anfield has brought himself back into this race with that canny strategy after fixing his car and topping up with fuel. Probably what Binko probably should have done is put it in straight away, topped up with fuel, gone longer than the other guys, and now Liam Anfield up into 3rd place. And Liam Anfield back into the fight. He's only 5.7 seconds behind Daz. Daz doing a 21.9 last time around, his fastest lap. And Liam Anfield managing a 3:20.3. But that might have been an outlap. It was an outlap, I think. So, all to play for. Binko, he's got some decisions to make. It's worth going in the pit, honestly, surely. With half a tank of fuel. Mama Homesick saying fair enough, and Mama Homesick also saying Mrs. Thingy most definitely doesn't take after her mother. Wine? Blech. Well, we can't all drink Chardonnay. So Skyjacker leading the way from Daz, 16.5 seconds back. I know, I've scuffed her up a bit, Mama Homesick, I think. That's what's happened. Dragged her down a little. Dragged her down a few levels. Now she's drinking £5 wine. We're not drinking, she's guzzling the stuff. Has it gone already? Oh, right. Looks like it's gone. And she's drinking from the posh silver bottom glasses, she says. Tell Mama Homesick. And so Skyjacker is 16.4 seconds. Daz pushing the hell out of his Sauber, trying to catch them up. But Liam Anfield also flying in his Sauber. We've got a Sauber 1, 2, 3 at the moment. They're rising to the top, those Saubers. Binko has taken it in. He has taken it in. No more will he drive with that damage. And that will promote a Matt Psycho, but Matt Psycho's only got a quarter of a tank of fuel. So Matt Psycho burning through that fuel, trying to get those lap times in. Liam Anfield, 3/4 of a tank. Daz, less than a quarter. Skyjacker, just under half. And Mama Homesick saying, come on, Homesick, catch that pesky RB. Has he done it yet? Let's have a look. I haven't looked for a while, have I? Homesick 1.5 seconds. He's definitely closing. He's definitely closing. Racer Brown probably should have pitted with that damage rather than staying out there. And now the Ferrari, the top Ferrari in third place, some 15 seconds ahead of excuse me, ahead of Jokers. He's only a second behind second place Racer Brown. And Guesty's absolutely flying out there. There he goes. He has gone in to fix that car. Finally, and Homesick Alien moving up into second place with the underpowered Ferrari. The Brute sponsored, Brute 33 sponsored car. I've heard it's his favourite aftershave. So Guesty leading the way on his racing softs. He's got 1/4 of a tank of fuel, 8.5 seconds lead on Homesick Alien. Joker's also going in. Joker's burnt through that fuel pretty quick. And Racer Brown in to get his damage fixed. Then we have that battle. Turtle's gone behind Pat. Oh, Turtle's recently pitted as well. So Jim is in 5th, with Pat in 6th, Turtle in 7th, and Rido in 8th. As he makes his way round, and he's doing a cracking job. I know he's some way off of the pack, but it's all good practice, man. It's all good practice. Just getting laps out there can only make you better. So Skyjacker, 18.3 second lead at the moment. Daz is 3.2 seconds ahead of Liam Anfield. He did a 3:23.1 his last time around. Liam Anfield a 3:21.7. So Liam Anfield some 2 seconds faster than Daz at the moment, but Daz might be looking after his fuel. William Anfield's got plenitudes of fuel. Oh, Skyjacker's made a mistake. He's got damage. Skyjacker's made a mistake. He must have made a mistake somewhere. He's got front damage on his car. He's come straight in. He's come straight in. Oh my word, the turn of events. So Daz will be the leader of the race. As soon as he gets to the line, Liam Anfield will be promoted up into second. Binko's behind Matt Psycho after his pit stop, but Matt Psycho will be needing a pit stop himself soon. I think it's around about 40 seconds. So, but Matt Psycho coming back into the game. Oh, Skyjack said he rear-ended a Rido in it. Oh no, Rido didn't try and move over for you, hopefully. So he's in to fix that damage. Daz now leading the race. Liam Anfield in second place. Matt Psycho moving up possibly to third, back into the fight. And Rido saying, sorry Skyjacker, you got to stick to your line, Rido. And Skyjacker getting that fix done quickly as he drops down into fourth place, but still Daz is low on fuel. Matt Psycho's low on fuel. Liam's on, he's all right on fuel, 3/4 of a tank. And Skyjacker back out there, filled with fuel, brand new tyres, and a fixed car. He's got out ahead of Binko. Binko lost a lot of time out there, it seems, with his fix, unless it's just being a bit weird. Yes, there you go, 22 seconds. 23 seconds adrift. So his pit stop really cost him. And we will see how it goes between all of these guys. Shadow Rider, 8.5 seconds ahead of GT Racer. GT Racer needs a pit stop. And GT Racer, he's got a, bless him, he's got a rookie sticker on the back, but I think he's taken part in a whole season with us. And I think that's the rules. You don't need it after a whole season. So GT Racer, obviously showing the rookie sticker, but doesn't need it. And he'll be going into the pits at the end of this lap. Guesty still leading, 7.2 seconds. Just did a 4:01 that last time around. He's under 1/4 of a tank of fuel. Homesick Alien, a similar fuel load there. He's done a 3:57, so he's faster than Guesty at the moment. So we can't count Homesick Alien out. Racer Brown some 47 seconds behind those guys after having to come into the pits and fix his car. He's 9 seconds ahead of Jim, who is 6 seconds ahead of Jokers, who pitted also. Jim hasn't pitted yet. And Pat is in, oh God, what, 5th? 6th? Yeah, 6th, I believe. Half a tank of fuel. Turtle, who's pitted recently, in 7th. And Rido, he's come into the pits. He may have parked it. Probably, I don't know. Doesn't look like there's much work happening on that car. So Rido, possibly parking it up. And there you see Daz will need to pit at the end of this lap. 3.5 seconds ahead of Liam Anfield. And Liam Anfield, it seems, has played a blinder. He really has. He was looking at early doors with the damage like it wasn't going to go his way. And he's come back like a phoenix from a flames, as has Matt Psycho. But Matt Psycho's fuel very low, very low. He's only 11 seconds ahead of Skyjacker that pitted the last time around to get some damage fixed. And Daz into the pits. So Daz is into the pits. Liam Anfield back into the lead. And Liam Anfield looking very strong at the moment. Matt Psycho also coming into the pits. Can he get back out ahead of Binko? He's some 30 odd seconds behind, ahead of Binko. So it's going to be tight, very tight. There goes Skyjacker through to take over second place in this race, chasing down Liam Anfield. They're on different strategies. They've got half a tank of fuel between them. Difference between them. Liam Anfield on half a tank, just about. Skyjacker on full tanks. Daz in the pits. Matt Psycho in the pits. Here comes Binko up towards the Ford chicanes. And where will he sit? Next to the Psycho and Daz. Daz is back out. Daz is back out in third place, full tank. Racing soft tyres on. And Binko's has come in. Oh, he's got more damage. Binko's picked up more damage. Oh my word. It's not going well for him. Shadow Rider ahead of GT Racer at this point, but Shadow Rider on older tyres, lesser fuel. And GT Racer just pitting, getting it all new and suited up. Still going to be, I think, about 20 seconds behind Shadow Rider when they shake out the pit stops though. So Liam Anfield, 27.2 seconds ahead of Skyjacker, who's in second. Daz out of the pits with fresh boots on, full tank in third. Matt Psycho now up into fourth, 18 seconds behind Daz. What can he do? We're on lap 19 of 44, an hour and 4 minutes into this race. Binko in fifth after fixing his car. Got to be careful, Binko. Watch out for those walls. And Shadow Rider in sixth, GT Racer in seventh. Then down to the Group 3 class. We have a Guesty just going in. Guesty's going in. Homesick Alien, I believe, will be following him as well. Is it enough? We're saying it's about 40 seconds a pit stop. And Racer Brown is 46 seconds behind the pair of them. And it's going to be tight. Jim is in fourth. He needs to pit also. Jokers, 4 seconds adrift of him, pitted a lap earlier. So Jokers will move ahead of Jim. Pat, still good on fuel. Got a quarter of a fuel tank out there, ahead of Turtle. And Rido, I think, has parked it for the evening. As you see, Liam Anfield coming across the Ford GT of Jokers. Both of them giving the wall a little skim. Skyjacker in second place. And what will Skyjacker do? Will he just fuel save? Or will he just burn it and try and catch up Liam Anfield? Daz out there, 20 seconds adrift of Skyjacker. 17.2 seconds ahead of Matt Psycho. Them two on similar strategies now. Binko 24.5 seconds behind those guys, and we've still got an hour and a half of racing to go. Unbelievable stuff. Shadow Rider in 6th, ahead of GT Racer in 7th. Then Guesty, after his pit stop, back out in the lead. Homesick Alien still in that 2nd place, but only 1.4 seconds behind the flying Racer Brown, with his car all fixed and good fuel. He'll be looking to start taking some scalps out there here at Le Sarthe for the Virtual Racers Club Endurance 2.5 hour race. Joker's dropped back quite a bit from those guys now, and Pat's gone ahead of Jim as Jim is into the pits in his Ferrari. He's released, he's back out. Oh, he might be back out ahead of Pat. Pat's just gone across the line, yeah, so Jim in and out. And before Pat's managed to get past him, he's 42 seconds behind Jokers though. So that's going to be a big struggle from that position. Pat still got a few laps before his pit stop. And Turtle might be a little bit ahead of Pat after the pit stops. We'll have to wait and see. The Dutchman doing a cracking job at the moment in that Ford GT. I remember in the early practices, he said he wasn't keen on its handling. Thought it was a little bit twitchy in the corners. So I'm sure his make-a-wish is probably that his car was a little bit more stable. Liam Anfield, meanwhile, though, 30-second lead of this race. He was always a threat, Skyjacker did say. There was many threats out there, Liam Anfield being one of them. Shadow Rider's come in. Shadow Rider has pitted. He did have quite a bit of time on GT Racer at 40 seconds for a pit stop, and he's a minute ahead of the closest Nissan. So we'll see what GT Racer can do against Shadow Rider. GT Racer pitting earlier than Shadow Rider in this race. Guesty, 2.6 seconds. Oh my lord, we've got a juicy battle here. Let's get on board with Racer Brown in 3rd place of the Group 3 cars as he hunts himself down a Ferrari. But Racer Brown, he was pulling away, had a huge lead at one point, but we saw he lost that with a dink on his car, and Arido has left the room. Hopefully no glitches will happen. Let's hope. Fingers crossed. It's a cracking cup of coffee that lad made. So, I haven't even touched a bit of Red Bull yet so far. See, 3 cans of Red Bull, haven't even touched one in an hour and 10 minutes. I haven't even guzzled my wine. Has it gone? Yeah, it's a bit less gone. Someone's walking up to Co-op. Well, not walking in a straight line though. So, Homesick Alien a second ahead of Racer Brown at the moment. It's gone now. Alright then. Well, you've got 45 minutes before Co-op shuts. No, I know you're not. You can't walk. You've had a glass and a half of wine. Not a glass and a half of my Le Mans wine. Yeah, I bet you're alright. Flying. You are, I bet you, if I look at you, you've got rosy cheeks. Oh, look at you, looking a bit flush. Do you want to come and say hello? I bet you're all ready to do some commentary. You could cover for me, I could go for a fag. And now you can see Racer Brown is getting the tow, as that will look like Skyjacker blasting past in his Group 1 car. And no, look at him, Racer Brown lifting down the straights, doing a bit of fuel saving, being wily. He's starting to get strategical. An hour and 10 minutes into this race. It's on lap 18 for the Group 3 cars. Don't know how many laps they're down on the big boys. I'll have a look in a second. But yes, Racer Brown fuel saving behind Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien on 3/4 of a tank of fuel. Racer Brown on half a tank of fuel. And Guesty, he's still on 3/4 of a tank of fuel. Oh no, Guesty's he's caught it. Yes, Guesty. What a cracking little slide he had on there, but Homesick Alien managing to close up the Group 3 cars after an hour and 11 minutes of racing are very tight together. And Guesty, he feels the pressure of the Ferrari behind him now. And my word, what a battle we are getting in the Group 3s at the moment. I will have a quick look at the other cars, but we will come back to this trilogy of cars because they are looking great. Trio. So Liam Anfield, he's 30 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. Skyjacker got back ahead of Daz. Hang on a minute, wasn't Daz ahead in second? No, maybe not. I've lost track. I'm not sure. No, I think Skyjacker. No, Daz was behind Skyjacker. I'm going to say Daz was behind Skyjacker after his pit stop. Hopefully. So Liam Anfield there is 28.9 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. I don't see any real rough laps there by Daz, so I don't think he has lost time. He's coming up over that battle between the Group 1 cars. He's 14 seconds ahead of Matt Psycho. He did a 23.5 his last time around. You get on board, we'll see him come across a Racer Brown. Homesick Alien's got ahead of Guesty. I apologise. So somewhere along the way, oh, this is not good for Daz. He needs to get on, but he cannot expect the Group 3 cars to get out of his way. He's caught them up really at the wrong time in the track. It's all about timing. He's not going to clear the Ferrari, is he? No, he's going to have to tuck in behind the Ferrari as he goes through the Ford chicanes, and this is going to slow him down a great deal. That's going to help Matt Psycho out a lot, and now he's blasting past the Ferrari. And my word, that was a terrible time to come across the Group 3 cars. And Matt Psycho's closed that down to 9 seconds now to Daz. So Daz in the danger zone. I fly through the danger zone. As Homesick Alien is leading in the Ferrari. The Group 3 cars, but Guesty not far behind. And Racer Brown, the fuel saving behind the pair of them. Just waiting to pounce. Oh no, that's what's happened. Guesty's got damage. Guesty has had an incident. Pushing, possibly. I have to fill the gaps in with my imagination. But Guesty is carrying damage. Oh my word. Homesick Alien is now the leader of the Group 3 cars. And Mr. Psycho is blasting past all of them along the straight. That's how you do it, Daz, he says. And Homesick Alien towing Guesty along at the moment. Guesty not on full throttle. And Racer Brown also enjoying a little fuel save behind the Ferrari. And it looks like Racer Brown is going to make the move on Guesty, whilst Guesty is injured. Or his Ford's injured anyway. It doesn't look like Racer Brown's still doing a bit of fuel saving. Is he back there? No, his foot's firmly to the floor. Possibly he's turned his car down a little bit. And he's lifted now as they come to the chicane. And I bet Guesty's car is not feeling the best through there. No, he's not made the corner very well at all. He is struggling in that Ford with that damage. And now he has tucked in third behind a Racer Brown, allowing Racer Brown to go forth and attack the Alien. Rido saying, I was chilling in the pits and I've had a power cut. My God. Pat saying, second stop update. Might be last in the race, but still enjoying it. Great race to be part of. Well done, Pat. Yes, that's the spirit. Cracking stuff. So, Liam Anfield, 30-second lead. He's just coming up to put a lap on GT Racer, it seems. He's on lap 23, so we are over halfway into this race, which, yes, an hour and 16 minutes. And Liam Anfield, 30 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. Just a quarter of a tank of fuel is the difference between the two of them. And Daz is only 7.7 seconds ahead of Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho on a real surge at the moment. Fancies a podium, does Matt Psycho, out of today's work. They're on similar fuel levels. And Matt Psycho going for that fastest lap that Liam Anfield is holding at the moment. And Daz maybe in a bit of trouble here from a resurging Matt Psycho, flying in his Sick Children's Trust livery, the purple and blue of Matt Psycho, flying around Le Mans in his car 16 Sauber. Unbelievable stuff. So Liam Anfield so far 30 seconds, Skyjacker 30 seconds ahead of Daz. Daz 7.3 seconds ahead of Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho 30 seconds ahead of Binko, who's had a couple of unfortunate dings out there, had to pit and fix his car. Shadow Rider ahead of GT Racer by nearly 30 seconds or so. GT Racer just getting a lap put on him by Liam Anfield out there. Homesick Alien, the leader of the Group 3s, by 1.5 seconds. Racer Brown trying to conserve a bit of fuel behind that Ferrari. I think he's realised the Ford is a lot thirstier than the Ferrari, and you've got Binko heading on through as they head up to Tetre Rouge. No, now they're heading towards Tetre Rouge. There goes the Ferrari through, and the Mazda will just blast past on the straight. There you go, car 49. Homesick Alien thinking he could try and get a little tow from it for a millisecond as it disappears into the distance. And the Racer Brown dropping back by 2 seconds. And Guesty is staying out with that damage. So Guesty trying to live with the damage on his Ford. And Joker some 16 seconds. So Jokers may be able to eke back a little bit on Guesty at the moment. Jim is in 5th place, 16 seconds ahead of Turtle, who is in 7th, and Pat in 8th, who's just pitted, topped up, and he's cracking on. Unbelievable stuff out there. So Liam Anfield leading the way. Where is the closest race? It's Matt Psycho trying to catch Daz up. And can he do it? He's pulled back a couple of seconds so far in this race, so you shouldn't doubt him, never write him off. He's got every opportunity. He's a man possessed at the moment, chasing down Daz. It was 8 seconds, then 7 seconds. It's down to 6 seconds. It's a lot of pressure on Daz at the moment. Down to just under 6 seconds now. We've hit the 5.9 second mark. And look at Matt Psycho go. He wants that fastest lap, but he just hasn't broken Liam Anfield's 120.5. Can't see what his best lap. Can I see? Does it show you their best lap so far, or just the last lap? Just their last lap, not the best lap. Why GT Sport? We expect better from GT7. So Matt Psycho now, he's going down to 5.5 seconds. He really is driving with some real gusto out there. Homesick Alien still leading the Group 3s. Liam Anfield leading the Group of 1s. What a cracker-lacking little bit of a race we've had so far. We're on lap 24 of 44, 20 laps to go. It should work out around about an hour and 10 minutes of this race still to go. Liam Anfield 35 seconds. He's pulled out a bit more time on Skyjacker doing a 3:28 that last time around. He's got no damage on his car. Liam very low on fuel though. He's under that last quarter of a tank. He's going to have to pit soon. He's not quite a full pit stop. We're saying about 40 seconds for a pit stop, but that might be to repair damage as well. I'm not sure what a pit stop is on a just fuel and tyres. Might be a little less than 4 seconds. He may be just coming out around the same time as Skyjacker. But Skyjacker's only got a few laps more of fuel on board than Liam Anfield. So even if Liam Anfield pits, Skyjacker will be pitting a couple of laps later. Daz then. Daz is starting to get purples. He's seeing the times of Matt Psycho dropping between him and himself. And he feels he need to start pushing on. Daz has got just under half a tank of fuel. Matt Psycho just under half a tank of fuel as well. Binko on a half a tank of fuel. He's a little on his own out there. 36 seconds adrift of Matt Psycho. And a minute and 20 seconds ahead of Shadow Rider in 6th. Shadow Rider 28 seconds ahead of GT Racer. Them two. Similar fuel loads. Homesick Alien leading the Group 3s by 1.8 seconds. Racer Brown fuel saving like mad behind him. We assume Homesick Alien just under half a tank of fuel. Racer Brown a quarter of a tank of fuel. So that Ford is thirsty. And there's Jokers has got himself ahead of Guesty. Did Guesty pit? Guesty did pit. He pitted the last time around to fix his damage, fill his car up. Turtle's pitting now as Jim is 20 seconds ahead of him, 26 seconds behind Guesty. And Turtle may have a whole pit stop. And there you go, Skyjacker in earlier. He hasn't got damage. Liam Anfield's fuel is flashing. And Skyjacker's gone for the early stop. Interesting stuff. Interesting strategy. Unless he needs a wee-wee. And Matt Psycho's got it down to 5 seconds. So very cool stuff here from Mr. Psycho. Let's get on board as he comes across the Group 3 car of Pat in quite an easy position there. So when you come across them in the corners is when it's troublesome. And he blasts past Skyjacker in the pits, who was on similar fuel load to those. That's a strange pit stop, that one, from Skyjacker. Unsure, maybe some alterations to his rig. Anything good would have happened. He might be changing his strategy. Oof, and there's Matt Psycho going wide in Tetre Rouge as he pushes his way towards Daz. The stewards did say they were going to keep an eye out for things like that post-race for repeat offenders. So we stay on board with Matt for a second or two as I just check out the conservatory, see if the rabbit's all right. So we are in a totally different room now. An hour and 24 minutes into this race so far. 25 laps in. I think the rabbit thinks I'm letting him out or putting him away. He's confused. He's jumped off the top of the hutch. He didn't know what to think. You're all right. Do what you want to do. And Matt Psycho getting purples again, but he's not quite got that purple lap that he wants. I'm confusing all the animals now. The cat wants to go into the conservatory. You're not doing nothing, Bob. What do you want? Not coming out here. Sure. Skyjacker has made that early stop. He had half a tank of fuel on, so It's an interesting strategy from Skyjacker. He's put Matt Psycho up into third. Matt Psycho onto a quarter of a tank of fuel. Similar fuel loads as Daz. Liam Anfield to be virtually ready, and there you go. Liam Anfield is into the pits. I thought his fuel was possibly low. He's a minute ahead of Matt Psycho, so should come out about 20 seconds ahead if we're saying 40 seconds for a pit stop. Interesting stuff here. But we just want to see the beautiful driving of Matt Psycho. Homesick Alien still leading the Group 3 cars. I don't think Racer Brown are very interested in overtaking him at the moment. But Racer Brown is burning through his fuel. Oh, and he's still purple. Quite a way round the track. He's only got one sector to do. And can Matt Psycho take Liam Anfield's fastest lap? And we've been on board for all of it, so it's been quite beautiful. Even though I wasn't really talking about the lap, I was talking to my rabbit. Rabbit, 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 rabbit. As he makes his way through the four chicanes and goes towards the line, he's not going to get that fastest lap. Oh, it's eluded him again. And that will be frustrating Matt Psycho. Small things like that, I imagine. He would love to see his name at the bottom on the FL part of the screen. And he's now only 4 seconds behind Daz. And you can possibly see Daz in the background, in the foreground, sorry. A couple more drags and I'll be back in on it. And you can see what Daz's fuel's like. You can see, oh, Liam's back out again. Did Liam pit? He pitted and got back out again ahead of Daz. He could have, he must have short fielded that. We'll have a look in a second. 2 more drags. There we go. Lovely. What Bob? Binko's into the pits also. Oh, sit my weary bones down. A sip of the rosé. So Liam, oh God, I shouldn't have done that. Put you in an awful car position. Gee. So Liam Anfield, no, he got in, he pitted, he filled right up. And back out again in the lead of this race. Unbelievable stuff from Liam Anfield. Daz, he's got a quarter of a tank of fuel on. He's less than 4 seconds ahead of Matt Psycho in second place. Matt Psycho 18.2 seconds ahead of Skyjacker, who's filled up with fuel as also. And I am confused with the strategies out there at the moment. Binko's just been in, topped up with fuel. He's back out. Shadow Rider in 6th place, with GT Racer in 7th. We've got a Homesick Alien. He's on a quarter of a tank of fuel, and there goes a Racer Brown, the thirsty Ford, back into the pits. Guesty. He pitted earlier to fix his car, topped up with fuel. Can he get himself ahead of Racer Brown? I don't think 46 seconds is going to be enough. Joker's in 4th, just getting overtaken by Matt Psycho, with Jim in 5th, Turtle in 6th, and Pat only 2 seconds behind Turtle with similar fuel loads. So race on for Pat and Turtle out there at the moment. The Dutchman and the Brit getting ready to commence battle here at our 2.5 hour endurance race at Le Mans, where Liam Anfield, it's got to be said, has played a blinder. He's come across Guesty though in the wrong part of the track, but he's through now, and he's 5 seconds ahead of Daz. Oh yeah, because of his pit stop, sorry. So 5 seconds ahead of Daz. Daz is 3 seconds ahead of Matt Psycho, but both Matt Psycho and Daz have got a pit, and I'm pretty sure that will promote a Mr. Skyjacker back up into second place, who's 28.5 seconds behind Liam Anfield. Unbelievable stuff. Liam has really played a blinder today. We're on lap 26 of 44. So not long to go now. Just about an hour of racing to go here at Le Mans. And down in the Group 3s, Homesick Alien. He's got a wee bit of fuel left yet. 52 seconds ahead of Racer Brown. Racer Brown did come out ahead of Guesty, but it's very tight between the two of them. Guesty right on Racer Brown's tail. 3/10 between the two of them. With Racer Brown probably carrying a little bit more fuel than Guesty. Guesty getting a wiggle on over the curbs. He's lost a little ground to Racer Brown now. Through that little shaky moment through the chicane. Right, I'm going to bomb the wine. It's become an obsession. There it goes. Beautiful stuff. Now we can start singing. But Guesty in third place. Both him and Racer Brown have damaged their Fords at some point in the race, had to take unscheduled stops and altered their strategy. That's given the Ferrari of Homesick Alien an opportunity to move into the lead of this race. But he's going to have to fuel a pit at the end of this stop. Group 3 cars on lap 23. The Group 1 cars on lap 27. That's the difference. An hour and a half into this race. Liam Anfield, 4.7 seconds. So Daz is closing in. Closing in on Liam Anfield, but I feel Daz and Matt Psycho are both going to have to pit at the end of this lap, and Matt Psycho's closed that gap down between himself and Daz to 2 seconds. So tight. Skyjacker 21 seconds behind Matt Psycho, so should get ahead with the pit stops. And Homesick Alien is in. He's got that 51 seconds. What can be done by his pit crew? Can they get him turned around and out ahead of the 2 Fords, as the Rockstar liveried Sauber of Skyjacker blast past second and third of the Group 3 cars. And Daz and Matt Psycho both coming into the pits at the same time, so this should promote Skyjacker back into second spot, but just too far away from Liam Anfield to make any kind of difference. And this one, I've got to say, unless he stuffs it into a wall or something, has got Liam Anfield's name written all over it. That trophy, they've started engraving it already. They've put the L and the I on already. It's early doors, I know, but the trophy makers are pretty confident that this one is all Liam Anfield. Oh no, what's happened there? Skyjacker having a bit of a moment. We'll have a look back. Skyjacker coming up, and there's Homesick Alien just coming out of the pits, the Group 3 car, and I don't know if he's... Oh, I just think he just braked a little late. Maybe had his eye on that Ferrari. And yeah, no, I think just a little early on the accelerator there. And now he is in a real jeopardy from Daz and Matt Psycho. Well, maybe not. They're 15 seconds behind, but Matt Psycho all over the back of Daz, pushing hard. Does like to take that wide line through Tetre Rouge. Does Matt Psycho? He's getting on the sting. Oh, he's doing a bit of bump drafting, it seems. He's trying to push Daz along with him. He gets past him, he doesn't get the toe. No, he's not bump drafting. He's looking to try and get the move done, and he has. So Matt Psycho up into a podium position ahead of Daz at the moment. trying to chase down Skyjacker, who's only 15 seconds behind him. Ahead of him, sorry. Wow, that wine's strong. And Liam Anfield so far leading the way, 37.9 seconds. Skyjacker in second place. 15 seconds ahead of third place Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho 2 seconds ahead of Daz in fourth. And Binko some 58 seconds behind them in fifth place. Had a couple of knocks though. He was up there leading the way in his Mazda. Shadow Rider in sixth. Pulled away from GT Racer. GT Racer's going to have to pit soon. Homesick Alien leading the Group 3 cars by 4.2 seconds. What's going back there? Guesty having a look at... I don't know, I think he might have just been getting out of the way. And this is that point in the race. Hour and 36 minutes. The fatigue starts kicking in. GT Racer has come into the pits, said he was going to pit soon. And Racer Brown holding that second from Guesty. But we've seen them Fords pretty thirsty. So the Ferrari doing an absolute stand-up job out there at the moment. As he makes his way around, Daz trying to get by in his battle with Matt Psycho. And Homesick Alien only 2.8 seconds ahead of Racer Brown, so it's not all done and dusted out there. Between the Group 3 cars, it's very close. Homesick Alien 2.6 seconds ahead of... Oh god, I just pressed the wrong button. Again. It's 2.6 seconds ahead of Racer Brown. Racer Brown only a second ahead of Guesty. So the top three of the Group 3 cars, it's all to play for. But Homesick Alien sitting best with fuel, I believe, there. With 3/4 of a tank of fuel as Daz tries to make his way through, and he does. And the Ferrari sitting on the top pile at the moment. Looked like after qualifying it was going to be all Fords, but they are a bit tetchy in the corners. You can see Guesty trying to control his Ford. It's twisting all over the place, but it's less than a second now between Racer Brown and Homesick Alien. It looks like Racer Brown is trying to make the move down on the Alien. And the Alien's still holding that first place in this race. Car 77 versus car 86 versus car 85. And it's very tight for the top three of the Group 3 cars. Unbelievably tight. Let's get on board with Racer Brown as he looks at the back of that Ferrari as they come through Tetre Rouge. He's going to try and grab a toe. Will he do a bit of fuel saving down this straight? It's not lifted yet, but he might have turned the engine down. No, I think he's going for it now. 3/10 behind the Alien. Balls out. Now he's lifting as he closes up to the Alien. Yes, there you see, there's that fuel saving. I think he has to though in the Fords. I think that Ford being a lot thirstier than the Ferrari. And we were talking about having to put the power up on the Ferrari, but look at it, leading the way in the Group 3s so far. Racer Brown though is sitting tucked up behind. I think he has the power to get by, but I don't know if he's got the fuel tank to beat it today. It's uncertain. They both look absolutely delicious out there. The Ford and the Ferrari are looking absolutely cracking. We'll have a quick look through though. There is Liam Anfield, 36.7 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. Still the fastest lap holder out there in his Sauber, and he's done a cracking job. Skyjacker in second place, 14 seconds ahead of Matt Psycho. He did a 31 his last time around, so he lost a lot of time on lap 28. I don't know if that's just trying to get through the traffic. He hasn't got any damage on his car, so that's good. He'll be hoping that Liam Anfield has an off, so So I just don't think there's much he can do about that distance after his he's got his damage on his car. Trying to get past one of the Group 3 cars. Oh, it's GT Racer. He's got through though in the Ford chicanes. GT Racer getting out of the way and letting Skyjacker on with his business. Matt Psycho pushing on. Did a oh no, that was an outlap. I was going to say he's done a 320.5. Just not fast enough to beat Liam, but that was his outlap. What's this one? A 320. He's done it. He's been pushing all the way to try and get that fastest lap, and he's finally got it. A 320.574. In your face, Liam Anfield. He'll be thinking, yeah, Liam, beat that. Go on, I dare you, double dare you. But Matt Psycho are really driving the wheels off of that car at the moment. As he hits a Tetre Rouge. And he's right out wide. He's not meant to be doing that. We've seen him do that a couple of times. I do remember reading in the brief that they will keep an eye on that. But he's 13.3 seconds behind Skyjacker now. Daz, 14 seconds adrift from Matt Psycho. 322 his last time around. Binko in 5th. Thought he had a purple then, but no. 323.6 he crossed the line with. And Liam Anfield, I don't think he's looking for fastest laps at this moment in time. Just keeping that car on track. Shadow Rider's come into the pits for fuel and tyres, but he's got a hefty amount of time on GT Racer. And he's 20 odd seconds behind Binks. So I don't think there's much he's going to do there. Then we've got the Group 3 cars. Homesick Alien, 8/10 ahead of Racer Brown. And oh my God, Guesty's into the pits. Guesty's pitted. He's back out again. I don't know if that was for damage or fuel. He was on similar fuel to a Racer Brown one. He did pit earlier than Racer Brown. So maybe he's just decided to make a pit stop. He's put him behind Jokus. Jokus, he's on half a tank of fuel. So it's a peculiar one. I'm not sure if Guesty had a few issues or not. We've missed that. Then we've got Jim in to top up with fuel, but he's got about a minute on Turtle Racing. And Turtle Racing, I thought him and Pat were quite close on track, but he's 53 seconds ahead of him now. Pat's doing... Yeah, Pat pitted on lap 22. He couldn't have pitted on lap 22, did he? Or maybe, possibly. Maybe he had a bit of damage, but his fuel is only a quarter of a tank, so if he did pit on lap 22, it wasn't for fuel, but possibly for tyres, because his tyres do look quite new. Turtle, he's on a quarter of a tank of fuel. His tyres are looking a bit older. He's only 14 seconds behind Jim. Still, anything can happen. We've still got 45 minutes of racing to go. Mama Homesick saying, fingers crossed, Homesick, fingers crossed. And Mama Sykes saying, nice one, Matt. So Liam Anfield leading the way. That'll be his fastest lap that he got, I imagine. 35-second lead Liam Anfield's got at the moment. Liam Anfield always claims that Mama Sykes likes him the best. In the Discord, I don't know if Mama Sykes realises Liam Anfield pokes Matt Psycho with a stick, saying that Mama Sykes likes him the best. But yes, Liam Anfield claims to be Mama Psycho's favourite. And he's out there leading the way, making her proud at the moment. Skyjacker in second, 34.5 seconds behind Liam Anfield, only 12.5 seconds ahead of Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho really pushing hard to try and catch up Skyjacker. And Skyjacker may be under threat. Similar fuel load, similar tyres. And Matt Psycho's a little fresher than Skyjackers at the moment. Daz 16.6 seconds adrift of Matt Psycho, but 47.9 seconds ahead of Binko. Poor old Binks. He said he'd never done a 2.5 hour race. He'd never done an hour and a half race before HPEC. So he may be struggling. He said his rig's not that great. When we spoke to him Wednesday evening in our Pit Stop podcast. Hey, look at that. Hour and 46 minutes into the race, my first sip of Red Bull. Ah, yeah. And Shadow Rider in 6th, GT Racer in 7th. Then we've got Homesick Alien, 2.1 seconds ahead of Racer Brown. Racer Brown's on half a tank of fuel. Homesick Alien's on half a tank of fuel. So, Jokers has pitted, which will help Guesty out no end. So Guesty will be moving back up into that third. He really loves slinging that Ford around, doesn't he? He's having fun in that Ford, sliding that bad boy through the corners. So Guesty back up into 3rd place. Behind Racer Brown, who has Racer Brown, who's done a great job on fuel saving and got himself on a similar level as Homesick Alien. As we are coming up to the closing sections of this race, the last 43 minutes of the race. Let's go on board with Racer Brown as we see in the distance the Ferrari of Homesick Alien. Can't fuel save that far behind though. He's not getting the tow now. He's going to have to burn through some of that Ford's fuel. And we have seen the Ford rather thirsty as he tries to catch up the Ferrari in the Class 2 of this race. Guesty 44 seconds behind him. Guesty get his head down and crack on. He might be able to get the jump on him in the pit stops, but I'm not sure how long a tank of fuel lasts. They've been lasting quite a while, these tanks of fuel. They've possibly only got one more stop to make in this race. I know it says only 27 laps of 44, but they've been lapped a few times, so they won't be doing the full 44 laps in the Group 3 cars. As Liam Anfield on lap 32, so 12 laps left of this race to go, and Liam Anfield a commanding lead, a commanding race as he comes up to 3rd place in the Group 3s and swooshes by. He's done an absolutely cracking job, has Liam Anfield this evening. Skyjacker, he's been up there in the battle. He had a bit of damage on his car, put him on the back foot, as did Matt Psycho and Binko. Binko's had a couple of damages on his car. Let's put him on the back foot. But Skyjacker, best of the rest at the moment, with Matt Psycho in that podium spot and the fastest lap to boot. Trying to hunt down Skyjacker, and he is catching up Skyjacker. Skyjacker staying in the 322s. Got a quarter of a tank of fuel. He did pit earlier than the other guys. Matt Psycho on half a tank of fuel. It's going to be a bit of a tight finish, I think, between Skyjacker and Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho getting purples again on his way around. Did a 320.9 that last time around. It's all a bit to play for up the front there. Daz in 4th, ahead of Binko in 5th, Shadow Rider in 6th, GT Racer in 7th. Then we have Homesick Alien leading the Group 3 challengers in his Ferrari. He's just under half a tank of fuel. And Racer Brown 1.7 seconds behind him in 2nd, similar fuel. So it's even Stevens between the Ford and the Ferrari at the moment. Guesty making that early pit stop. We're not sure if he had damage or if he just altered his strategy. love watching him through the Ford chicane because he just slings that Ford through there. Beautiful stuff. Snakes his way out of the chicane in third place for the Group 3 cars. Then we got Joe Cass in fourth. And Matt Psycho's caught him up in a bit of a tough place, but he gets through, does Matt Psycho. Jokas carries on with that Rothmans Ford to complete his lap 28 as he chases Guesty down 30 seconds behind. Then Jim in fifth place. He's just been overtaken by Daz. He's 58 seconds ahead of Turtle at the moment. 22 seconds behind Joker, still with a long way to go in this race. It can still all change. And Turtle only 16 seconds ahead of Pat on half a tank of fuel, but Pat is going to have to pit. Pat's fuel very low, tyres still very fresh, so still not sure what happened to Pat. It looked like he pitted on lap 8. Lap 22, and he pitted on lap 18, so I think he might have picked up a bit of damage and didn't top up the fuel. Should have topped up the fuel pack. So Liam Anfield then 38.2 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. Skyjacker maintaining that distance between him and Matt at the moment. Matt 8.5 seconds behind Skyjacker. He's doing late 20s, early 21s with Skyjacker in the 22s. He's dropped into the 23s now. Is he trying to eke that fuel out? We're on lap 33 of 44. Only 11 laps to go in this race. The time is saying an hour and 58 minutes. It's all very tight as the leader goes past the leader of the Group 3 cars. Get on board with Homesick Alien as he sees Liam Anfield disappear into the distance, and then he's going to have to wait another 30 odd seconds before he sees Skyjacker blasting on by as he makes his way through the Porsche curves. So that wall is really scary there. Now he's heading up to the Corvette curves. Down a gear just to help him through there. It's only 1.7 seconds ahead of Racer Brown. This is a long race for these guys, and it's not over yet by a long shot as he hits the Ford chicanes. I didn't think he was going to make that second apex there. Sweet stuff there from Homesick Alien onto the start straight as he leads the way in the Group 3 cars. He's going up towards Dunlop curve into a Dunlop chicane. Then as he comes over the brow of the hill, it's into the S's. Here are the S's now. That car beautifully on the apexes, floors it out of the S's into Tetre Rouge, sweet there, and then it's onto the long straight, the Mulsanne straight, before he gets to the first chicane, something French chicane. Did I just miss Skyjacker as I was looking down at the map? He's only 2/10 ahead of Racer Brown. Racer Brown really closing in on Homesick Alien to make this race memorable between the two Group 3 cars. Oh no, Matt Psycho's in second place. Where's Skyjacker? My word, what's happened? I can press a button, but I don't think it's going to show us anything. No, he's already in third. I do apologise, so busy watching this, the Group 3 cars. Skyjacker did a 33 his last time around, 10 seconds slower than his normal lap times, and that's put Matt Psycho into second place. So Matt Psycho now second place with Skyjacker down in the final podium position. Daz in fourth. Oh my words. I don't have a clue what's happened there. I do apologise. You can see Skyjacker's only 3.8 seconds behind Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho on a quarter of a tank of fuel. Skyjacker is on low fuel. He's going to have to come in at the end of this lap for his final pit stop. 10 laps to go in this race. And Matt Psycho has really brought that car up, dragged it up by its bootstraps all the way through the field. He's got past Binko, he's got past Daz, and now he's got past Skyjacker. And Matt Psycho having an absolutely cracking drive this evening. Pat saying can confirm lap 22, hit the wall in the Porsche curves, didn't refuel, didn't want to have to recalculate strategy. I have it all worked out. Okay. You've got to roll with the punches, Pat. But there you go, Matt Psycho then. Looked like it was all over for him early doors in this race when he picked up damage on, what, second lap? First lap? Was driving around back in fifth place. Looking rather hopeless for him. And now he's up into second place in this race. I don't think it's going to take a miracle to catch Liam Anfield up in the next 10 laps. I think Liam Anfield has taken the fastest lap back away from Matt Psycho, so that rivalry just never goes away. Liam Anfield a 320.3, beating Matt Psycho's 320.5. Excuse me. And the battle between Homesick Alien and Racer Brown hasn't altered, and neither of them have pitted. Excuse me. I'm not bored, that just came from nowhere. Skyjacker's going into the pits. We saw his fuel was low. He made an earlier pit stop than usual the last time around and put himself off of the same strategy as the rest of the guys. 21 seconds ahead of Daz, so Daz is going to move ahead of Skyjacker. Daz still on a quarter of a tank of fuel though, so he will have to pit again before the end of this race, as will Matt Psycho and Liam Anfield. So maybe Skyjacker's got something up his sleeve here. I'm sure he'll just top that car right up, and I'm pretty sure that will take him to the end of this race. Binko a little too far back to make an impression on Skyjacker. Oh, that car wiggling through the Porsche. Is it Porsche curves? I don't know what to say. I think it is the Porsche curves, because that's the Corvette curves. Head up towards the Ford chicane. Skyjacker back out on track, full tank of fuel, a racing softs just ahead of third place in the Group 3 cars. And I don't know. Daz will have to pit, so that will put him behind Skyjacker. Matt Psycho, it's marginal, isn't it? Marginal between Skyjacker and Matt Psycho. They weren't that far apart. Matt Psycho's fuel has just started flashing. Daz has still got a fair few laps left in that car. He's 24 seconds behind Matt Psycho. He's 27 seconds ahead of Skyjacker, so it's tight. It's going to be tight between himself and Matt Psycho when Matt Psycho comes out the pits. But Liam Anfield, he can pit and come back out ahead of everyone. He's done an absolutely cracking job this evening. I assume Matt Psycho's going to pit at the end of this lap. Daz will probably carry on. Skyjacker just making his final pit of the race. Binko in fifth. Shadow Rider in sixth, ahead of GT Racer. GT Racer getting way out of the way there for the leader, I believe it was. Homesick Alien only 3/10, and Homesick Alien's burnt through his fuel, so Racer Brown's done a cracking job looking after that fuel behind Homesick Alien. And the Ferrari, for the first time today, we've seen use its fuel quicker than the Ford. And Racer Brown just keeping that foot off of the end, you know, the top end, to save even more fuel on the Alien. And Homesick Alien, all he can do is drive his race and try and ignore the Ford behind him that's using and abusing him really to save fuel. There we see, I believe, Liam Anfield possibly going through. Oh God, that was the wrong button to press. I apologise. I'm not sure. He just overtook the Alien and Racer Brown. Racer Brown backing off a little bit. His fuel also flashing. So these two are going to pit at the same time for their final pit stop. And that Psycho is into the pits. Daz he's not quite there yet. Will he stay out? He's still got a bit of fuel left. He does. So Daz is going to provisionally take over second place until his final pit stop. And I'm sure Matt Psycho is going to get out ahead of Skyjacker. I think he's got more than enough time to get in, top up, get new tyres and get out before Skyjacker reaches them. He's just coming out the Corvettes and heading towards the Ford chicanes. Matt Psycho hasn't moved yet, but he's topping up with fuel. And he's saying Skyjacker's moved up to third, but I don't believe he will do. There it is. There's Matt Psycho back out on track ahead of Skyjacker. Only 6 seconds though. Race on between these two. Skyjacker, he's going to have to show what he's got in that car to grab a podium position out. Binko's come in as well, but he's kind of in no man's land. I don't think Shadow Rider is going to be able to get past him. GT Racer only 3 seconds behind Shadow Rider, but he's going to have to pit before the end of this race, as we're on lap 36 of 44. So only 8 laps left, and Liam Anfield's going to have to pit as well. But he's got a minute and 17 seconds on the rest of the field, so he can have a cup of tea while he's having a pit stop. Daz in second. Daz has driven an absolutely phenomenal race this evening. He's always been thereabouts in that lovely Sonax looking Sauber. Matt Psycho and Liam Anfield having great comebacks this evening. Skyjacker got that damage late on in the race with his collision with Rido, and then making that particularly early pit stop before this last one has put him on the back foot in this race. But he's trying to catch up with Matt Psycho. They've both got exactly the same fuel levels virtually. Liam Anfield in, but like I said, he's got so much time. He can jump out the car, do the moonwalk, down the pit stop, say hee-ha, and then jump back in the car again. Or just do the 12-inch version of You'll Never Walk Alone in for his team. And you'll never walk alone. Daz also having to pit on this lap. His fuel's low. With Matt Psycho in third. 6.2 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. Very tight. Homesick Alien. They've both pitted, himself and Racer Brown, for the final stop of the race. Guesty only 5.4 seconds behind him, but Guesty might have to come in for a splash and dash. And what is Jokus doing? Jokus, he's probably going to have to pit as well. So Guesty probably has got that podium position all tied up. Daz is into the pits now. Okay, and Matt Psycho should move ahead. Will Skyjacker? Well, Skyjacker's closed that gap between himself and Matt Psycho. It was 6 or 7 seconds, wasn't it? And he's down to 4 seconds, so Skyjacker on a push and a rush to try and catch up Matt Psycho. Matt crosses, but it's an out lap, so it's hard to tell. And it says down to 3.3 seconds, so interesting stuff there. It seems like Matt's lost a bit of time to Skyjacker on that last lap. It's tough to say. Liam Anfield out there with 54 seconds in his back pocket on lap 37 of 44. The timer shows 5 minutes past 2 hours, 6 minutes past 2 hours that we've raced so far, and it's been okay. It's been a good race, I think. I think it's been interesting. I think we've had a lot of stuff going on. Liam Anfield looked like he wasn't really in with a shout when he got that early damage, carried it for a few laps, but he came in, topped up, stayed out longer than everyone else when they pitted, and he slowly eked his way back up to the top. Matt Psycho getting purples again to try and get a bit of distance between himself and Skyjacker, but Skyjacker looks like he's on that final push in this race. He's getting purples as well. Remember, Skyjacker was the pole sitter. Daz in 4th. 20 seconds adrift of those guys. He's just pitted for his final stop of the evening. Binko in 5th place. An early leader of this race, but lost a bit of time to damage. Shadow Rider and GT Racer have been having a beautiful battle throughout this race, but it looks like a GT Racer might have to do a splash and dash before the end, whereas I don't know, Shadow Rider might. It's going to be tight with Shadow Rider's fuel. Homesick Alien battling with a Racer Brown, and oh my word, it's going to be tight between them two. You feel like Racer Brown is sitting on purpose behind Homesick Alien, because he's realised his Ford GT is a thirsty little car, and now is he going to make the move for the lead of the Group 3s? And he does, and he's ahead of Homesick Alien for the final stretch, possibly. Who knows? Now Homesick Alien down to 2nd place in the Group 3 cars. He's got a wiggle on in his Ferrari. He didn't need that. He wants to stay close to that Ford Focus. Ford GT. And Racer Brown now dropping that accelerator like it's hot, and he's moving on to try and regain that win that looked like was definitely his early in the race, when he was around 8-second lead of the field, of the Group 3 field. And he's been he got some damage, dropped back behind Guesty, then Guesty got some damage, and Homesick Alien managed to rise to the top, but it has felt like Racer Brown has been using that Ferrari as a fuel saver for a long time in this race, and now we're getting to the end. He has dropped the hammer, and Homesick Alien now in 2nd place, 2nd behind Racer Brown. Shadow Rider's in the pits. GT Racer is ahead for some reason. Oh, Shadow Rider's had a big one, and he's recently pitted, it seems, and dropped it, and he's broken a lot of things. GT Racer's got to come into the pits as well, so I don't know if he can stay ahead of Shadow Rider at this point. Guesty's 11 seconds behind Homesick Alien, so he can't attack, and he's got to go in, and he's dropped it as well. He's broken something on the back end. Joker's only 26 seconds behind him, but he's going to have to pit as well, I think, before the end of this race. So it's all very tight. 22 seconds as Jim, but he's only on a quarter of a tank of fuel, so I think he's got another pit stop to make. Turtle's nearly 2 minutes behind Jim, so I don't think there's any kind of impression he can make. And Pat's on half a tank of fuel, which might just about get there, I'm not sure. Liam Anfield nearly a minute ahead of Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho's eked out a second on Skyjacker. Skyjacker's done his fastest lap of the race, a 21.6 the last time around on his final push to try and get that second spot. He needs to pressure Matt into a mistake and just keep pushing. But obviously Matt, very rare to make one mistake. I mean, we're surprised we saw one at the beginning of this race. As we look back there, and Racer Brown, 1.5 seconds now ahead. Just done his fastest lap of the race at 3:56.3. Homesick Alien only managing a 58.3. So I think we're starting, well, he's up again, but I think we're starting to see a Racer Brown's pace here as he goes for that final push in this race. And Liam Anfield absolutely obliterated the field today. Got the fastest lap as well with a 3:20.3 as he makes his way past Joe Cass. Really, Liam Anfield has been the star of the day with the fastest lap. A great strategy, and looks to be the one to take the win today. With nearly a minute on Matt Psycho, nothing taken away from Mr. Psycho with that early damage. And then he's had to slowly fight his way back. GT Racer is in the pits. Is he far enough ahead of Shadow Rider after Shadow Rider breaking a lot of things on his car? We'll have to wait and see. I'm keeping my eye on that situation as we watch Liam Anfield make his way round on lap 39 of 44 for this very long race. 2.5 hour endurance of the SARF, and it's hard work for those sim racers out there. There's got to be, I mean, I want to make it up, but 70% of the track is on full throttle. I don't know if that's definite. A lot of it is full throttle, so their right foots, if they've got a wheel, must be absolutely killing them. And if they haven't got a wheel, their right thumbs must be killing them. As you can see here, he's got this totally under control. All he has to do is bring her home without any mistakes. He's got no need to push. He's got no one pressuring him into any mistakes. He just needs to bring her home. He can start easing off if he wanted. He's got plenty of fuel. His tyres look good. I'm not sure if Liam Anfield's had a win. I'll have a check on the strats when I go back in. Just having a couple of lugs on the old Siggy. Come out, say hello to the bunny rabbit. All right, Lincoln, how are you doing, mate? You having a bite? Having a munch? Having a munch bunch? Go. No, you don't have to go away. I'm not putting you away yet. So, let's have a look how Liam's done in the past in these races. Liam Anfield. Liam Anfield was a Group 3 winner of Spa, 2.5 hours, the third endurance race, with a 4th overall at Fuji. So, he's had a win already in the second class. And now he's taking a win in the Group 1 cars. So it's a great form for Liam Anfield. And I know Skyjacker sent me some stats as well. So let's have a look at those as well. GT Racer. He's had two races, but I think that's including this one. 1 star. His highest finish is 6th. He did get out of the pits before I mean, he got out of the pits ahead of Shadow Rider, so he's equaling his best finish. Liam Anfield's had 3 races, 2 starts. Oh yeah, because he's including this one, I think. So 2 starts, 1 podium and 1 win, 2 fastest laps. His highest finish being first. Matt Psycho has had 6 races, including this one, 5 starts, 1 pole, 4 podiums, 1 win, and his highest finish is a first. This is Binko's first endurance race. He's done well to grab a 5th. Daz has had 5 starts, including this one. 4 starts, 5 races, 4 starts. His highest finish is a 4th, so he's equaling his best. This is Turtle Racer's first race in the endurance. Jim has done 5 starts, and his highest finish has been 5th, which I think is he equaling in this one. Let's have a look. Racer Brown's in first, Homesick Alien in second, still only 1.8 seconds behind Racer Brown, and the fuel is nominal between the 2 of them. Yeah, Jim's in 5th, so he's equaling his best. Homesick Alien, he's had 5 starts. He's had 2 poles, 4 podiums, 2 wins, 2 fastest laps. So it doesn't look like the win's going to happen for him today. Racer Brown also, 5 races, 3 poles, 5 podiums, so he's had a podium every time out. 3 wins, he's going to bump that up to 4 wins, and 2 fastest laps. I'm not sure who's got the fastest lap in the Group 3s, to tell you the truth. Shadow Rider has taken part in 2 of these races before this. He's had a podium. His top finish is 3rd place. And Skyjacker has taken part in 3 of these. He's had, well, including this one, 4. He's had 1 pole, 1 podium, so he's adding to his best. His best finish is 3rd. It looks like he's equaling his best as well. Guesty has really lost out, and Joker's not too far behind. He's in 3rd place, and Joker's in 4th. So let's have a look through the field as we're counting down these final laps. Lap 41 of 44 for Liam Anfield. Just starting and lap 41. He's got the fastest lap so far in this race, 55 seconds ahead of the fields, and it's plain sailing there really for Liam Anfield all the way to the end of this race. Matt Psycho in 2nd place. Oh, he's getting purple. Is he going to get another fastest lap as he crosses the line? Not quite, 2/10 off his best. And he's pulled that lead, that distance between himself and Skyjacker to 6.5 seconds. So Skyjacker, he's just done his fastest with a 3:21.656. So he is pushing. He's pushing Matt Psycho all the way to the end with 6.7 seconds distance between them, and with including this lap, I suppose, yeah, 3 laps to go. Daz in 4th place, 24 seconds behind the podium place, 47 seconds ahead of Binko. He's had a cracking race, has Daz, this time round. Binko, his debut for the endurance, he's done well. He was up there early doors, battling for that 1st place. He's picked up a couple of knocks along the way. Oh, GT Racers had to go into the pits. Oh, GT Racers picked up some damage, and it's put Shadow Rider up into 6th place. So Shadow Rider picking up that position in his Nissan against the fellow Nissan. He's come across Jokus on track, but he's got past him, and he's on his way. With GT GT Racer coming into the pits to fix that damage for the end of the race. Racer Brown 2 seconds now ahead of Homesick Alien. There's nothing it looks like Homesick Alien can do about Racer Brown at the moment. He did his fastest lap on lap 33 at 3:56.928. Let's get on board. As we can see, Racer Brown there in the distance. It's getting blue flags, so I'm guessing there's going to be a Group 1 car come flying past any second now. As they're heading up towards Indianapolis. There you go, that's Matt Psycho flying by. Look at him how fast they're. Oh, a little slide on there into Arnage, is it? No, this is Arnage. That must have been Indianapolis he's just gone through. So this is Arnage. And then up towards the Porsche curves. And then we're going to see Skyjacker come flying by any second now. He chases down Racer Brown in second place for the Group 3 cars. We're coming up to Porsche. Porsche curves. Beautifully done there into Corvettes. Just knocking it down a gear. Oh, he's got a bit of a side on. As there we see Skyjacker flying by. Skyjacker still chasing down Matt Psycho for that second place. As we see Homesick Alien going through the Ford chicanes. I don't think really there was anything he could do about Racer Brown today. So, in the lead we have Liam Anfield, 50 seconds. He's lost a couple of seconds to Matt Psycho, but did a 3:27 his last time around, but he's not damaged the car. Possibly just cruising now. Home for the win. And you'll never walk. I say cruising, he's getting purples. Walk on through the storm. Liam Anfield bringing her back, bringing the Sauber back to the winning ways. He can nearly taste the champagne. 6/10 up on his fastest lap time. The only man he's beating is himself on lap 42 of 44. Matt Psycho, he's also getting purples. They're all chasing that fastest lap come the end of the race as the fuel's getting low. They all want that fastest lap as well to add to their honours. And Skyjacker, it's been a long race for these guys, 2 hours and 24 minutes so far. 2 laps to go. Going to be way over 2.5 hours, isn't it? 2 laps, this is another 6 minutes or so. Well, no, it's going to be about there. Don't listen to me, I don't know what I'm on about. But Skyjacker in a fine podium position. He's getting purples as well. They're all going for them fastest laps. Liam Anfield coming through Corvette, heading up to the Ford chicanes. Can he beat his fastest lap? At this point in the race, that car looks absolutely planted, doesn't it? Sauber looking fantastic. And he does a 3:18.9. He puts it bang out of the park. Smashes it. And what's Matt Psycho managing to do? Some 51 seconds behind Liam Anfield. He's done a cracking job. Let's bring it up through the field. We saw he drop down to around about 5th. He's 7/10 down on his fastest lap. Skyjacker looking like he's doing better than He's gone before, but not quite managing to touch Liam Anfield's lap time as he pushes that Rockstar Sauber to its very limits. The top three are all the Saubers. Ooh, totally missed that chicane. Decided to get out of that one rather than lose the car. And he does his fastest lap of the race. Daz in fourth, only 22 seconds behind Skyjacker, so close to a podium this evening was Daz. He was in there with a shout, mixing it up with the aliens, the fast boys, and it was looking good for him. Binko leading the race a couple of times at one point in this race, but like I said, took a couple of knocks, had to fix the car. They're all going faster. I don't know how they've got the energy. Don't know how they've got the energy at the end of this race to still manage those fastest lap times, but they're still pushing. Shadow Rider getting ahead of GT Racer. We saw GT Racer taking a knock on his Nissan and having to come in and fix it, giving Shadow Rider that 6th place. Shadow Rider crossing the line with 3:23. Racer Brown now 5.5 seconds ahead of Homesick Alien, and Homesick Alien nearly a minute ahead of Guesty, and everything looks good out there for the top three. Jokus in fourth, Jim in fifth, Turtle in sixth, and Pat in seventh. Ooh, Pat's picked up a bit of damage. Will he fix that before the end of the race? There's only a few laps to go though. I don't know if he's aware of that. I remember when I took part in a Le Mans race, I think I pitted thinking I still had like 7 or so laps to go, and then the race finished at the end of the lap I pitted on my out lap, because I'd forgotten I'd got lapped that many times. I wasn't counting how many times I've been lapped. And Liam Anfield bringing her around now to start the final lap. And what a race Liam Anfield has had. What an amazing event it has been. Liam Anfield now starting the final lap of the race in the lead with the fastest lap of the race. He's done an absolutely cracking job, with Matt Psycho in second, nearly a minute behind him. Skyjacker only 6 seconds behind Matt Psycho, quite close, just on his fastest lap of the race with a 3:21.162, just a few tenths faster than Matt Psycho. What's Matt Psycho going to be able to do this time around? As he heads up to Ford Chicane, he is going to start his last lap in the Sauber Mercedes. 3:22. Skyjacker does look a wee bit closer, but I think it's all over now. 3:22.0 for Skyjacker. Daz in fourth, coming around to the Ford Chicanes to start his final lap. There he goes through the final chicane onto his final lap for Daz. Binko, his first VRC endurance race, and I think he can hold his head up high. I think he's had an absolutely cracking race. He's getting blue flags. Is that Liam Anfield? No. Or maybe this Group 3 car in front of Binko. It's getting those flags. Binko making his way round so he can start his final lap. Shadow Rider in 6th, GT Racer in 7th, Racer Brown leading the Group 3 cars. He's just seeing the line to start his final lap of the race. Lap 38 of 44. With Homesick Alien crossing the line as well, some 6.5 seconds behind him. His fuel flashing. Guesty a minute behind those guys in third place in his Fords. Jokus in 11th, Jim in 12th, Pat in 13th. Pat's huge damage there, and Turtle's catching him up. And Turtle must have made a pit stop right near the end there, did he? It doesn't say outlap, so I'm not sure. Oh, Pat trying to get out of the way. And got the reset, which puts Turtle back ahead of him. As we sit with Liam Anfield coming around to take the win of this Le Saf Le Mans 2021 for the VRC. And what a race he has had as he crosses the line. Congratulations there, Liam Anfield. Well done, my friends. And where is Racer Brown? Racer Brown's some way away yet. Where's Matt Psycho? So Matt Psycho coming around there in second place. Liam Anfield looks like he got that fastest lap in the end. I'm not sure if Matt Psycho dare go for it on this final lap. He's only 4.6 seconds ahead of Skyjacker. I imagine he doesn't want to risk too much as he brings her around through Corvette curves towards the Ford chicanes to bring home his Sauber in second place. Congratulations, Matt. A great race, well endured. And Skyjacker pushing all the way to the end for that final podium position. Take-a-boo, my son. Racer Brown, he's still some way away. We can go back and see Daz come around to grab that fourth place. Well done, Daz. Great race, great effort. Brilliant stuff from Daz in fourth place. Well done. Fantastic racing. Binko, he's still ahead of Racer Brown. He is. Racer Brown 9.7 seconds ahead of the Alien in the end. They're both light on fuel as they come through. And Binko just ahead of those guys, bringing it home for his first VRC endurance in the chat. Skyjack saying absolutely battered now. And Skyjack saying, not going to lie, disappointed with that. He shouldn't be. Third place after 2.5 hour racing is fantastic stuff. And Liam Anfield saying, I can't feel my hands. And Skyjack saying, well done, Liam. And RB, thank you, Homesick and Thingy. And here comes Binko in his first VRC endurance race. Well done, my friend. Fifth place. Cracking stuff. And Racer Brown now coming through. The Corvette curves. I'm sure other people. Shadow Riders crossed the line in sixth place. Well done. GT Racer, I think, isn't going to make. He's behind. And there we go. A race winner for the Group 3s. Racer Brown, well done in the Ford. Fantastic stuff. Homesick Alien bringing her around the Ford chicanes to take second spot. Super stuff. Jim's already crossed the line. GT Racer. Oh no, we've run out of time. So there you go. We didn't quite see Guesty get his podium. And there you go, Liam Anfield. Starting from fourth, came through to take the win and the fastest lap of the race. So Liam Anfield takes the win of the 2021 Le Mans VRC Endurance Race. Well done. Matt Psycho coming back from behind to get himself second place. Super stuff. Skyjacker in third. Says he's disappointed, but I can't see how you can be disappointed with a podium after 2.5 hours of racing. Liam Anfield got the fastest lap with a 3:18.916. That was stunning times. They were all in the 3:20s mostly, and then right near the end then on lap 42, he really pulled it out of the bag. And Daz getting fourth, Binko getting fifth, Shadow Rider getting sixth, and GT Racer coming home in seventh. Racer Brown took the win for the Group 3s in his Ford GT, ahead of Homesick Alien, who got second place, and Guesty getting third. Take a boo, my son. Jim getting fourth. Jokus. Oh, Jim got fourth ahead of Jokus in the end. Jokus was in fourth for the longest of time. I didn't see them swap over. But yeah, Jim brought his Ferrari home ahead of Jokus. I don't know what happened there then. That's weird. And Turtle grabbing sixth, and Pat in seventh, with Rido not quite making the end of the race. Liam saying, thanks, mate, it was bloody hard work. Mama Sykes saying, congrats, Liam, well done, Matt, great race, guys, great thingy. Oh, thank you. And Mama Homesick saying, well done, Homesick, great second, well done, all that looked very tough. A great and very long race. Mama Homesick saying, thanks for another great evening of commentary thingy. That is my pleasure. Liam saying, cheers all. So, yes, that was our Le Mans 2021. A bloody good fun that was as well. Thank you for joining us here at the Virtual Racers Club. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and ring my belly thing. And, not my belly, but the bell. There's a bell next to subscribed, which means you never miss a single race streamed here at the Virtual Racers Club. I don't know if you're bothered. I don't know if you're interested in what's coming up, but Sunday night we'll be streaming live the Red Bull Juniors from Catalunya. Tuesday we're back to the Super GTs at Autopolis International, and the Super GTs, they kick up some cracking race in the Group 2 cars, and then that's it. There's no other race again. I don't even know what's on Friday night. I'm not sure. I don't think there is anything. So, long gap, and the next race will be the Sunday night one. So, thank you for joining us. God, I'm flagging. Sorry, guys. Too much wine. Too much Blossom Hill. It was fruity, though. It was crisp and fruity. And I would have enjoyed it even more if my wife didn't nick half of it. I would have been flying. But thank you for joining us here at the Virtual Racers Club. I was your commentator and your broadcaster, Antique. Thank you for watching, and catch me again doing this on Sunday night for the Red Bull Juniors. Bless you all for joining in. Those that stuck with us for the whole thing, you need congratulating as well. You are superstars. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, Sunday evening, live. Okie dokie. Thank you for joining. Peace and love. Peace and love.